Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Buddy Moorhead Stadium here in Conroe, Texas, as we bring you a District 13 6A matchup between the Caney Creek Panthers and the Cleveland High School Indians. As always, I am Wesley Big West Turner, and joining me is my color man for the night, Jeremy. Jeremy, how are you doing today?
Very good, Wesley. Thank you for bringing us in here tonight. Excited to get going on tonight's action here between these two. See if we can get a district win for one of these two schools here tonight.
Both teams coming in with a 0 in the win column. 1-0 has to go. In your opinion, who do you think that's going to be? Who's going to walk away with that 1 in the win column tonight, and what do they need to do to get that 1?
Well, last season, Caney Creek emerged as a 42-9 winner in this matchup, but obviously different year, new teams, new players, so we'll see how things go tonight. And I think the key for both of these teams is, we talked about this offline pregame. Wesley brought up that stat to where I think both teams combined have scored 25 points. So I think a big key is just going to be getting going and making some big plays and getting into the end zone, because a big challenge for both of these teams so far has just been getting offense going and then getting points in the end zone, because they face some really tough opponents. And tonight, in order to get 1 in the win column, they've just got to find a way to get in the end zone, and that's been very tough sledding for both of these two so far this season.
Yes, and Cleveland has actually amounted for 18 of those 25 points scored between these two teams. Caney Creek's only points of the season coming against Waller week 1. I believe it was me and you on that game.
Yep, that was us.
That game for the first week of the season, and so far they haven't been able to score since. They're coming off of a huge loss last week against the Woodlands, and Cleveland actually also coming off a big loss last week against Willis. But this is sure to be a good matchup. These are two, you could almost call this a rivalry game almost. This is one of those rivalries in the district. This is a district with a lot of rivalries. I don't think very many teams in this district, they don't like each other.
Yeah, in this one, you've got Caney Creek, obviously Eastern Montgomery County, and then neighboring Liberty County, which is where Cleveland's coming from. So you go out east of town, down 105 a little bit, and these two communities actually are not that far away from one another as the crow flies, for sure. They've had to drive further to get here than they would have just to kind of meet somewhere in the middle between where both of these high schools are. So got a little bit of a showdown here, Eastern Montgomery versus Liberty County here tonight. So I think that's kind of a fun aspect to this game. And also Cleveland this year, they're under the direction of a new head coach, Johnny Sanders, so they've been working through that transition this season, whereas on the other side, of course, Caney Creek head coach Kendall Heineman, he's been at Caney Creek for a while now, and he's an alum of Conroe High, actually, so, he's used to being in this stadium from a lot of years back, having been a Tiger himself back in the day and graduating from CHS, so no stranger, obviously, to the friendly confines of Moorhead here.
Yeah, and one thing of note that has been something that Caney Creek has dealt with all year is injuries. One of their star receivers, Carson Garvreau, he's going to be out for the entire season. He's a senior receiver. He was going to be one of the big playmakers for this team. Also, it would appear in just a t-shirt tonight or a jersey and shorts tonight would be number 6, Aaron Williams, and number 5, Bakari Worthy. So a lot of offensive star power not going to be on the field for Caney Creek.
Yeah, always tough when that happens, because it's hard enough when you've got people healthy and you're trying to win games, but then when you have key players go down, it just makes kind of an already tough task even more difficult. At this level, you just can't afford to be down anyone. So for Caney Creek again.
Caney Chevrolet is a proud sponsor of Conroe ISD Athletics. We're suited up to equip your team with a versatile Silverado, heavy-duty or Colorado, spacious Tahoe and Suburban, or sporty Equinox Trax and Trailblazer. Caney Chevrolet has a large selection of certified pre-owned. After you've left it all on the field, come pick out your next Chevrolet at Caney Chevrolet. Caney Chevrolet is pleased to partner with Conroe ISD for every game, every play, every win. Come visit us today or browse online at KeeningChevrolet.com.
Our orthopedic care is shaped around you. And you. And you. Because customizing treatments and using breakthrough techniques is how your comeback starts. Like 3D printing for ultra-precise joint replacements and providing the same specialty care as we do for the Houston Rockets. So you return sooner, stronger, better. This is orthopedic care designed for you. Memorial Hermann, advancing health, personalizing care.
With Forest National Bank, where convenience meets community. With over 30 branch locations in and around Montgomery County, we're always close by to help you with your banking needs. But we're more than just a bank. We're proud supporters of our local community, dedicated to making Montgomery County a better place to live and work. Experience the difference at Woodforest National Bank. Convenient, caring, and committed to you.
Imagine you or him or her. Like them, you have a lot to manage. Houston Methodist has a lot to offer. Convenient primary care for annual upkeep. Personalized orthopedics to keep you going. And a cancer center with the latest technology and treatments. All in one manageable system so you can thrive. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it for you. Houston Methodist. Leading medicine.
We would like to thank all of our sponsors who make all of these streams and most of these football games actually possible. So thank you to all of our sponsors, all of our wonderful sponsors that we have here. We love all of them, don't we?
Yes, we do, and pretty cool what they're able to do to allow Conroe ISD to put on shows like this every week in the football sense and bring people all these images and be able to just follow what these student athletes are doing all season long as we work our way through 13 6A play. And it's really hard for me to believe, Wesley, that we're already halfway through the regular season. It is October. So, I mean, it feels like we just started, but we're already basically, well on our way to having playoff brackets in our hand about a month from now. So, I mean, it goes by fast once it gets here, and that's always the crazy thing every year. It's like you wait a long time for that first game, but once it gets here and gets played, I mean, the season just flies by, and just minutes now away from the teams, of course, running out here tonight and get our action underway in a little over 9 minutes. But one thing I wanted to go over here quickly in pregame while we can is I've got the district standings open to just kind of keep our listeners and viewers surprised as to what's going on. We've got a massive game just up the interstate from us in Willis tonight with College Park and Willis playing one another. They're the only two undefeated teams in 13 6A play right now, so the winner of that game is going to have a leg up in the district title race. The work won't be done, of course, based on that outcome, but they'll be in pole position based on that. It'll be a tough one for the Cavs to go on the road in Willis and try and get what would be a monumental win up there. Elsewhere, you've got the Woodlands trailing just behind those two at 2-1 in district. They're 4-1 overall. And then Conroe, the Tigers got a big win last night, Wesley, over Oak Ridge. And so we look here in the standings. Conroe's actually got the leg up right now for fourth place in the district, just ahead of Oak Ridge, who is now 2-2 in district. And then you've got Grand Oaks at 1-2 in district, also kind of in contention there for that fourth playoff spot. And then in the bottom part of the district, you have New Caney at 0-2, Caney Creek 0-2, and then Cleveland 0-3 in district. So as we said on the outset, the O must go for one of these two teams tonight. Unless we end in a tie and at the end of overtime, that would take some pretty outlandish set of circumstances. But
we don't want that to happen.
No, we want that to happen. Yeah, one of these two deserves a win here tonight. So I'm rooting for a good game, hopefully entertaining game for the folks here in attendance tonight. And but yeah, 13 6A, Wesley, I think is just shaping up to be an excellent district race this year, particularly at the top and in the race for the playoff positions.
It always is, with only the top four teams in this district being able to make it. It's always cutthroat for that fourth spot. I remember it was a few years ago. Well, once again, sorry for the inconvenience there. They're catching us off guard here with these hype videos and everything. That was a really cool hype video, though. Caney Creek, They always do. All the district schools always have great hype videos. They almost make me hype. They make me ready for some football.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool touch they do for all the teams. Always gets me pretty pumped up, and it's cool that they change every year, so you get to see a little bit of the personality of each team for the different schools based on how they kind of construct their highlight videos. So really cool. I'd like to kind of sit in on the filming of one of those and just see how the players make those. How many takes that they need to get it just right, because I'm sure it's a serious deal for the kids every year to come out and make those videos.
Yeah, and just I think that'd be really cool. Just be a little fly on the wall when this happens, because most of these schools they don't film them at the school. As here come the Caney Creek Panthers out onto the field tonight.
Yep, our home team coming out onto the field here, looking fired up out here in their kind of Florida State, San Francisco 49er hybrid uniforms here.
Here also come the Cleveland Indians, but Caney Creek, they've got another reason to be hyped up and fired up for tonight, because it is their homecoming game. It is Caney Creek's homecoming, which means instead of performing at halftime after the game, their band and their drill team will perform, which if you do want to stick around for that, we will be airing that on the live stream at the end of the game.
Yep, and highly recommend you do. I will turn up the field mic for that so y'all can hear all that good music being played and follow along at halftime as well and see who gets crowned and all of that. Always fun to watch. And here in a moment, of course, when the teams line up, we'll have our national anthem, and then we'll get the captains out to midfield and see who is going to start with our football tonight.
And one of the things starting off with the football, it's almost like it kickstarts the game. Not just that, but sometimes if you choose to defer, you get that 1-2 punch. If you get a drive to end the half, but then you also get the ball right back, which we've seen multiple times in every single level of football, that can really change the momentum in a game, especially if a team is able to score on those 2 drives.
Yep, you're feeling good about your defense's ability to start the football game. I think it's a good strategy to use to defer and then bank on your defense getting that first stop and kind of putting the momentum kind of firmly in your corner if you can come out and get that. But the key is, you've got to get the other team off the field. Don't let them get the one up on you, because the opposite effect is the other team comes out and they get that quick score on you to start the game, and then you've kind of ceded momentum. So it's a little bit of a tricky deal, but if you got confidence in your defense, I say go for it.
So now the teams are lining up, which means in a few short moments we will have our national anthem, and we will hire up the field mic and cut our mics off, and we'll let you hear that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise together in a real honor and support our freedom and home. Opponents today are presented by representatives of the Caney Creek Junior ROTC. On the U.S. flag is Cadet Terrazas. Texas flag, Cadet Santos. Army flag, Cadet Williams. Marine Corps flag, Cadet Henderson. Navy flag, Cadet Iden. Air Force flag, Cadet Rangel. Coast Guard flag, Cadet Miles. Space Force flag, Cadet Severson. Left rifle, Cadet Wilson. Right rifle, Cadet Zorate. Our national anthem this evening will be performed by the Caney Creek High School Choir. Please join me in standing until the colors have exited the field. Thank you.
All right, it's just about time to kick this thing off here. We're going to bring some captains out to midfield and determine who is going to get our football first here this evening.
And it looks like for the Panthers, the captains will be number 2, Marcez Jackson, number 91, George Ramirez, number 52, Ricardo Pulido, number 22, Andrew Hammond, and number 3, Jamonte Kuhn. And for the Indians, we could.
And has vector to receive.
Those captains for Cleveland were or are number 31, Seth Quintero, and I believe number 5, Christian Harrison. As now we are going to get ready for some football here as Cleveland will receive to start this game off. And Jeremy, the first drive for any team is really to almost just set the tone. So what do you expect to see from the Indians coming out the gate?
Yeah, kind of more of what we talked about in pregame, just trying to find some way to establish an explosive play just to get in position for points. As we mentioned pregame, both of these teams finding it difficult to come by points so far this year, combining for 25 points through 4 games for Caney Creek and 5 games for Cleveland. Caney Creek just scoring the 7 against Waller. So again, offense is going to be a big key for these teams here tonight, coming out here battling and trying to earn that first win of the year. So expect Cleveland to come out and just try and establish that, just as Caney Creek will when they get a chance to get their own hands on the football here.
It'll be for Caney Creek, their kicker Logan Massey will send it deep, and returning for the Indians will be, looks like it'll be number 2, Dominique Gilkey, and number 5, Christian Harrison. As the ball is teed up, the ball is on the tee. Massey is getting his warm-ups in. And we are just about ready for some football. As the kick is away, it's a good kick. It will be returned. He goes to the 15. He's looking for some blocks. He's going to get some blocks. Out to the 30. Out to the 45. The 40. He's got one. He's got a couple men to beat. And he'll get across midfield. So the first drive for the Indians will start in Caney Creek Panther territory.
Yeah, really good explosive return there by the Cleveland return man, who did a great job just finding that lane. One of those explosive plays that we were just talking about there, Wesley. Good way to get started where you get a long return and get on the plus side of the 50. So challenge for the Caney Creek Panther defense, now backed up into negative territory, as we say here, so they've got to try and stand strong on that side of the ball here. So early challenge for the Caney Creek defense, chance for Cleveland to capitalize here now.
So now Cleveland's quarterback is going to send his men in motion. Take the snap. It'll be a handoff. It'll be no gain on the play. The handoff was to number 28, James Cook.
Yeah, loss of 3 on the play. That was really good defending by the Caney Creek defense there, just not giving up anything, getting that penetration into the backfield that the defense is always trying to do on every play. So good run defense on that first down by Panthers. Yep, we just noticed our quarterback for Cleveland is actually not listed on the roster, at least not under number 4. So please forgive us while we make an effort to find out who that might be.
There are a couple people listed as a quarterback. Now he's going to look. He's going to drop back to throw.
Yep, heavy pressure.
So now he's going to run, and he'll get to about the 45-yard line, which will bring up 3rd down and 7 here for the Indians.
Yeah, and that was Dane Cook for Caney Creek, who forced the quarterback out of bounds there. Did a good job not giving up a play on the sideline, which you see quite often. So good job by the Panther defender, Cook, ushering him out of bounds.
And I believe it might be Desmond Woods as quarterback, but we're checking our max preps right now. See if he's on their roster there. So take the snap. It'll be a quick throw to the outside. He's going to try to get the first down, and he'll get it. That was a quick screen pass to number 6, Jaden Perry Ellis. The senior wide receiver is able to pick up the first down at the 36-yard line, which is already a first down, and Cleveland, they're being able to move the ball here. Ball is at the 36. We'll have to see what formation the Indians will line up in. They're a team that likes to favor those single back, the pistol formation, or the shotgun single back and some pistol formations, and it looks like they will come out in the pistol. He's going to look to pass. Now he's going to try to run with it, but he won't get anywhere on the play, as that is number 0, Xavier Martinez, and number 99, Owen Manchek, for the combined tackle for loss there for the Caney Creek Panthers.
Yeah, once again, great job getting penetration by that Caney Creek front, getting multiple people back to the quarterback, which is the dream for a defense. So another really good job by them, and now they've got to capitalize on it and see if they can force Cleveland into a 3rd and long.
It's now to 2nd down and 13. Still in Panther territory. Tight end will be in motion. Woods is going to look to throw. He's going to look to throw it deep, and it's going to be caught.
Incomplete.
Oh, they're going to call it incomplete. Pass intended on the play for Dominique Gilkey.
Yeah, made an excellent effort for that ball, and then the Caney Creek secondary came in and applied a big hit there on the sideline to dislodge that football.
Correction, the quarterback, I believe, is Zach.
On the district stats, they list him as Zachariah Nixon, but they list him as wearing number 8 as a sophomore. So we're still kind of unable to determine exactly who the Cleveland QB is.
So it will be a timeout from Cleveland. It would appear the play clock was winding down there as it's 3rd down and 13. Just over 2 minutes and 30 seconds here into this game, with Cleveland already driving into Caney Creek territory. So now it's 3rd down and long. Where would you say would be field goal range here for the Indians, or do you think this is already, even this early in the game, 4th down territory?
It's a great question. I'm not sure what range they count on for their field goal kicker, so it's all about kind of what they feel like they can do in terms of range. So depending on their results here, if they can get to the 30, I think you go for it. If you can get it to kind of a 4th in medium situation, again, just depending on what kind of leg you have on the sideline. But we'll see if Caney Creek is able to stop them here on a 3rd and long. Cleveland been looking to get downfield to their receivers so far, see if they do more of the same here.
So now Nixon in the pistol. He's going to look to throw. He's going to try to throw it deep, but it's going to be incomplete, just a bit outside there. Pass intended for Gilkey on the play, which will bring up 4th down, and it looks like the punting unit will come on for the Indians.
Yep, and it looks like Xavier Martinez for Caney Creek was applying the pressure again there. Forced the quarterback to get rid of it before he maybe wanted to. I mean, it was a well-thrown ball, but he just didn't have the time to allow his receiver to get in the area where he could make a play. So job done by the Caney Creek defense there, standing strong despite starting in negative territory after that explosive punt return that Cleveland started the game on.
Looks like it'll be Julian Barcenas on to punt. The punt is bobbled, still gets it away, and it's going to take a good bounce, and it's going to bobble off the return man.
He's got room.
He's got some room to run, but he's going to be out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. And correction, the punter on the play was Guillermo Hernandez for Caney Creek, but there is a flag down about where he was So we'll have to see what they call here.
Yeah, and that was number 3, Jamonte Kuhn, on that return there, doing a good job just getting around the sideline, getting what he can, but see if it stands or if they're going to be marked back a little. Or possibly see if it's going to go against Cleveland once they signal.
Still awaiting the official's call. The referees are talking it over. So you will see the referees and the trainers for Caney Creek are wearing pink tonight and will be wearing it throughout the entire month of October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Just something that the NFL started a while back, and it's just been it's been like spreading like wildfire throughout almost every sport, it seems. It's one of the great traditions that like I said, almost every sport has. As now they're walking it back.
Running it to the kicker, defense number 36. 5 yards to be added to the end of the run. First down, Caney Creek.
So it was running into the kicker on that punt is why they're marking the 5 yards against Caney Creek. And, yeah, the Cleveland punter bobbled that punt, hit the ground. He did a great job getting that punt off because, yeah, there were a lot of Panther guys coming in to disrupt that.
This will be Caleb Marshall starting for Caney Creek under center, as he's going to be empty formation shotgun. It's going to be a quick throw, but there's going to be a flag down.
Yeah, false start. Yeah, the inside receiver there for Caney Creek was not set when the ball was snapped.
Start. Number 22. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's only allowed in Canada, Wesley.
Yeah, they're going to get Andrew Hammond there on the false start, bring up first down and 15. In the backfield is Derek Thompson, their freshman running back with Marshall. He'll be lined up to Marshall's right, along with the receiver, and Marshall it's in the pistol formation. It's going to be a handoff to Thompson, and he's going to get to about the original line of scrimmage, 5 yards there on the carry, bring up second down and 10.
Yep, getting back the penalty yardage that they just lost, so setting up a second and manageable here at least. Getting back to the original line of scrimmage. And Caney Creek right off the bat, Wesley, coming out in that 5-wide empty backfield set. They do like to get creative with their formations. That's one thing I've noticed about Caney Creek over the years is, yeah, Coach Hyndman likes to mix it up a lot formation-wise.
As now Marshall will be in the pistol formation. He'll send his man in motion. It's going to be a jet sweep to Kuhn, and he's going to try to find the run room, and he's going to find some all the way to about the 44-yard line is where they're going to mark him out. Big play there to pick up the first down.
Yeah, and that jet sweep is a really good opportunity to make a big play, and Kuhn did a great job of finding that lane and just hitting it up inside. It's like you don't want to mess around and dance there in the backfield. It's like see your gap, hit it, and get the positive yardage. That's what he does to move the chains, and they want to move tempo here, going fast.
First down at the 44, going back to that empty backfield. It's going to be a screen pass. It's going to be off the hands. They're going to blow it dead as a forward pass, though, which would bring up second down and 10.
Yeah, Kuhn once again the intended target there, so he's heavily involved in the game plan here early. And number 1 is a player that I liked a lot the first time we saw Caney Creek play against Waller, Marion Hughes, the sophomore receiver, down closest to us here from our vantage point in the press box.
It's now pistol formation, a formation that Caney Creek likes to use. It's Marshall will hand off up the middle, and Thompson's going to get a good carry there. Looks like it's going to bring up third down and 3, so 7 yards on the carry for the freshman running back.
Yep, very nice carry there up the middle, just classic power play setup. They do a good job leading through the hole there and getting him a seam to work with and set up a 3rd and short.
And it's not very often that you see a freshman starting on varsity in almost any level of high school football here in the state of Texas. So Thompson, the coaches must see a lot in him. They must think he is a special athlete, and he's been given the nod tonight to be the starter. So obviously they see that's going to fake the jet sweep. Marshall is going to triple option it, and he's going to give it back to Kuhn. He will be swarmed behind the line of scrimmage. Let's see where they marked forward progress at, but it looks like it's going to be back in their own territory, in Panther territory, and it looks like they're going to send on the punt unit with Logan Massey also handling punting duties for this Caney Creek team.
Yeah, didn't quite get the execution they were looking for there on the jet. Tried to fake it this time, and sometimes there's usually a read there, and quarterback kept it, made the right decision, but there just wasn't enough room to work with there, and tried to make that kind of late pitch to razzle-dazzle it a little bit, but didn't quite come off. But that's what Coach Heineman in this offense like to do. They like to try and be really creative.
A little bit of a high snap. Back to receive is Marcez Jackson, who had the dangerous kick return, but he won't be able to have a chance to return this kick as it sails out of bounds. We'll have to see. They're going to mark it exactly at the 25-yard line, which is where this Indian offense will start their next drive. So what did you see from the last drive? Even they were able to get a couple of first downs. What did you see that you liked from this offense?
Yeah, they found a way to generate one explosive play, and both offenses really had very similar starts. Cleveland doing the same thing, big kick return, and then making a first down, and for Caney Creek making the explosive play on the first sweep they ran to Kuhn, and then stalling out a bit once they crossed midfield. So pretty similar starts for both teams on offense. So see if the Panther defense can come out here against this tight formation from Cleveland.
It is a tight formation. Send his man in motion. It's going to be a jet sweep, and he's going to have some running room. He's going to try to break some tackles, and he'll get to the 46 or 47-yard line. A big play there for Dominique Gilkey.
Yep, Gilkey with a nice run around the edge there, and they set that up with that tight formation we were talking about. They ran that sweep to the empty side of the field. So they had a lot of grass to work with out there on that side. Got Caney Creek outflanked there, and a big play up to almost midfield, going to be on the 48-yard line of Cleveland.
Nixon once again will line up in the pistol formation with a tight end to his right and two receivers to his left. He'll take the snap. He'll fake the handoff. Nixon's going to try to run for himself. He's going to try to find some running room, and he loses the football. There's a scram for it. We'll have to see, and it's going to be Caney Creek football right about where their last drive ended. A huge takeaway there for the defense.
Yeah, huge moment there for the Caney Creek defense. The ball just hit the turf. It was a nice job of running by the Cleveland quarterback initially there, just really shifty through the hole, but unfortunately, what's usually sacrificed when you're making those moves is a little bit of ball security, and Caney Creek was able to get a hand in on that, knock it loose, and then get right on top of it. They had multiple bodies right there ready to jump on that fumble.
Now in the formation at quarterback will be Peyton Beckett, who's listed as a wide receiver and a quarterback, so we'll have to see maybe if Caney Creek reaches into their bag of trickery. No, they're not. It's just going to be a simple handoff up the middle to number 25, Peyton Pollard.
Yeah, and Beckett is one of the sophomores on this roster for Caney Creek. So, again, working in some valuable reps for some of these youngsters. We see a lot of youngsters really on both of these teams when you look at all the sophomores that are peppered throughout both rosters here tonight.
Beckett will line up in the shotgun. He'll have a running back to his left, split receivers, two to his right and his left. He's going to send Kuhn in motion. It's going to be a screen play, flag down, as now there's going to be some running room. He's going to try to break some tackles, and once again, a huge play there. Now there's going to be a flag on the tackle, as once again the play went to Peyton Pollard. So we'll have to see what the officials have called on both of the flags. Two flags were thrown, one at the very beginning of the play, one at the very end.
Yeah, set it up perfectly, but we'll see if it's able to stand. Didn't see quite what happened on that far sideline to generate the first flag that came in. Not sure if it's an offsides or potentially a false start situation.
Have to see as we wait for. It looks like they're going to be walking.
On the play. Legal tip, offense. Horse collar, defense, number 31. Penalties offset, replay second down.
So he's going to do it all over again, says Mr. Official. Offsetting penalties, illegal shift, and a horse collar tackle. And Beckett will stay in the game at quarterback, which is an interesting development here.
Yep, rotating in, trying to get some more experience and reps for the young guys out here. 2nd and 8 after that was marked back.
Beckett in the pistol formation. Send Kuhn in motion again. It'll be another jet sweep, and Kuhn's going to try to find some running room. And it looks like he'll be... Looks like they're going to mark him. They're going to give him the first down there.
I'd say he should have it. They came in right on the yard line, the yard to gain there for the first down, and it moves the chain. So Caney Creek in business here, moving deeper into Cleveland territory with the ball on the 37-yard line now.
Still scoreless here. Just under 5 minutes into this first quarter, or under 7 minutes into this first quarter, excuse me, as Beckett now lined up in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right. It's going to bobble the snap, and he looks like whenever he touched the ball, his knee was down, so that's going to be a big loss to bring up second down and long.
Yep, just a bad snap situation there, brought him down to a knee in order to recover that. But thankfully for Caney Creek, did not lose possession. Having just generated a turnover of their own, they don't want to turn it right back over to the other team, but yeah, now in a 2nd and 17 situation.
And if you don't have a good center to quarterback exchange, you don't have a play, which this offensive line definitely has been a weak point for Caney Creek all season, it seems. As now the play clock is at 1, and they're gonna call a timeout.
Caney Creek.
Yep, going to talk things over. They know they've got the ball here in Cleveland territory with the chance to put some points on the board, so just wanting to make sure they've got everything lined up the way they want it. And really stretching the field we've seen so far, Wesley Caney Creek just doing those speed sweeps a lot, trying to get the edge, and it's working pretty well for them. They've hit on a couple of them, and that's usually what they like to do. They want to stretch the field horizontally and then look for their shots deeper down the field. That's kind of what they're setting up for later on by attacking the edge so much on the wide side of the field like that. So I'm going to look for some deep balls to start getting peppered into the offense here now that they're setting it up and seeing how much they can get Cleveland to bite on that edge running before they take a shot and try and dump one over their heads.
It'll be a trips right formation for Beckett, who has his running back to his right and his wide receiver to his left. Wide receiver at the bottom of your screen, Amarian Hughes. Haven't heard his name tonight. It's going to be a quick screen pass out to Pollard. Pollard is going to have some running room. He's going to get the first down and a little bit more. A huge 20-yard gain there for the Panthers.
Yeah, really nice design to that little bubble screen. Got inside of the block that he needed to spring that one loose and pick up a big gainer. Not quite in the red zone, but knocking right on the door now after that big gain.
Now they are at the 23-yard line. This is going to be a handoff to Pollard again. And now they will be in the red zone at the 19-yard line, which will bring up, I believe, 2nd down and 6.
Yep, good solid gain there on first down. Need to follow it up with another positive play here on 2nd down, staying ahead of the chains. Chance to score the first points of the evening here as we get deeper into the end of the first quarter here in a few minutes.
Once again, pistol formation. Javier in the backfield now, and he will be met with a stone wall there by number 20 for the Indians. That is Cesar Castillo there. He met him directly in the backfield.
Yeah, Castillo just completely unblocked there. Gets to bear hug the running back the second he touches the ball there in the backfield. Going to back it up to a 3rd and 9 after that play.
3rd and 9. We'll have to see what Caney Creek has in their playbook here. So once again, pistol formation. Caney Creek, one of the few teams that heavily uses that formation in the district, is now Peyton Beck is going to look to throw. It's going to bounce off the chest or off the defender. Pass intended for number 1, Amarian Hughes. So it looks like now they'll bring on the field goal unit.
Yeah, going to try and at least get the 3 here after making a couple of plays on this drive. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication on that last play. That was a ball that could have both been equal parts caught by the Caney Creek player and also intercepted potentially. So neither ends up happening, and now we've got a 40-yard field goal attempt here.
Which for this high school level, that is a relatively long field goal. I had to see how Massey does. Wasn't able to see too much of him kicking field goals in warm-ups. But the kick is going to be up. It's got the leg, and it will be no good.
It's like just missed wide left there. Had the leg for it.
Just missed wide left. So if we have any Bills fans watching, we apologize for the trauma or PTSD that you may have just experienced hearing our dear color commentator Jeremy say that. So we apologize. This year hopefully will be better for you. As now here comes the Cleveland Indian offense, once again still being led out by Nixon. So now Nixon will line up in the pistol formation. 2 pistol formation heavy teams. So Cleveland also has a tight end. And Nixon will hand it off. But once again will be met in the backfield and suplexed by Xavier Martinez.
Yeah, rodeo tackle there in the backfield, and kind of more of the same of what we've seen so far, with Caney Creek just getting a heavy amount of backfield penetration there and just stopping the play before it has a chance to start. The 2-yard loss.
James Cook has been the lead back for the Indians tonight. So now it's 2nd down and 12.
That's another Buffalo Bills reference I just picked up on.
It is actually another Buffalo Bills reference. It must be like Buffalo Bills Day over here at Morehead Stadium. Just under 2 minutes now left in the game, and it looks like we will have a timeout from Cleveland.
Yep.
As that is the 2nd time that they've had to burn one of their timeouts in the first half because of clock management issues.
Yeah, again, getting into the later part of the first quarter here, just trying to make sure they're as careful as they need to be, kind of backed up a little bit. They don't want to make a big mistake that puts Caney Creek right on the doorstep of the end zone and scoring points, given we've still got a scoreless game here tonight. Both teams still trying to find that first breakthrough. So, you know, these teams, just given the rougher starts they've had, they know they've got their opportunity here tonight to get that win on the board, and they're going to fight tooth and nail to try and make that happen, and that's what we're seeing so far. Just a good competitive football game here in the early going.
You saw during that fan cam some of the wonderful mums that this Caney Creek crowd has. It is their homecoming game tonight, which means we'll have festivities during halftime, and the band and drill team will perform after the game, which we will still air that on the stream, as now the tight end moves in motion in the pistol formation. Nixon is going to hand off again to Cook, but once again will be met in the backfield. Number 17 leading the way there, Tristan Caulfield for the Panthers.
Yeah, a whole pack of Panthers there converging on the football in the backfield. Looked like 4 or 5 of them just making a group tackle there, meeting at the running back in the backfield.
It's now 3rd down and long. We'll have to see what Cleveland has in their playbook for this.
Yeah, got to be careful with the play call here. When you're backed up like this, you almost want to kind of play it safe and do a draw or screen type of play just to avoid the odds of a turnover.
Sticking with the pistol, Nixon will have 2 receivers to his left. The play clock is winding down, all the way down. No whistle or flag thrown.
Is a
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, ended up taking the delay there. The back judge dropped his flag when there was no indication of a timeout having come from the Cleveland sideline.
Now they're bringing up 3rd down and 19 for the Indians, so it's a very long 3rd down. So what do you personally do here? Do you try to keep it conservative, or are you one of the people that you're aggressive and you want to throw the deep ball and get that 1st down?
There are spots to be aggressive, but in this situation, I'm just keeping it simple. It's like maybe a draw or just a straightforward handoff, QB draw or running back draw, or maybe a screen if you're feeling really excited.
Empty backfield, and it will be a screen pass. Good call there. So get a couple of yards, make the punt a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, it's unfortunately just kind of one of those down and distance situations where you can't get too crazy. And again, with the 0-0 football game, not quite the time to throw the dice, given that you played pretty good defense so far.
This will be number 74, Guillermo Hernandez, on to punt. Last time wasn't the cleanest execution. We'll have to see if that persists here. As it will be number 7, Jance Pacelli, on to receive for Caney Creek.
Yeah, big opportunity here for the Panthers in the return game if they can get their hands on the football to try and make something happen. Looks like we'll have a timeout on the field as the first quarter just ended.
The first quarter ends with our score still locked at 0-0.
Yep, teams will flip ends of the field here during a brief break. And last time they were back for the punt, Wesley, we had that ground ball that the punter did a great job to get it away. We'll see if they can get a clean snap here. Looks like they do.
And they do, and the punt is going to take an Indian bounce, but Baselli will corral it at the 44-yard line, which is where Caney Creek will start this next drive. A little bit of extracurricular after the play there by the Caney Creek defender, but referees, they understand this is a rivalry game for them, so tempers and actions are going to happen. So luckily they're letting them play, letting it slide.
Yeah, that's right. Let them compete a little bit within reason, of course, and work as hard as they can to try and get that W here tonight. You know, both of them are just going to put everything they've got into proceedings here tonight. And once again, though, great field position for Caney Creek as they're starting with the football in Indian territory. So they've got to take advantage here. Had a couple of opportunities, but this is the one they've got to capitalize on.
So now it'll be Marshall back in the backfield at quarterback. He'll send Kuhn in motion. Another jet sweep to Kuhn, something that they've gone to a lot tonight, and he will get 5 yards there on the carry before being spun down by number 31, Seth Quintero, the junior linebacker for the Indians.
Yep, and the really fun pass variation to do off of that is to fake that jet sweep and then throw a backside post on the other side and catch those safeties cheating up. So again, I'm going to look for that at some point here from Caney Creek with the number of speed sweeps that they've called here so far.
So now Marshall will take the snap. It'll be a handoff, and he's going to get the first down. The hand and a little bit more there, pushing forward on the play. That will be number 6, who is Aaron Williams, sophomore running back. Once again, young team here from Caney Creek, and all their youngsters, they're showing that they are ready to play, that they have earned their spots on this varsity roster.
Yeah, really impressive run. You love to see the backs finish their runs like that.
So once again, a handoff to Williams. A good power play there, but it'll be tackled in the backfield for a loss by number 88, who I do not see
on
our roster here.
But it was a good play by him.
Yeah, nonetheless, a good wrap-up tackle, a loss of 12.
Yeah, but on a play like that, Caney Creek looking to kind of zone block, and they needed a body on number 88 there to kind of wash him out wide to prevent him from being able to make that tackle and kind of cut up inside of him, but they didn't get a body on him there, so he was able to make that tackle pretty easily.
Peyton Pollard now in the backfield is going to be a design quarterback run for Marshall, and he won't get very far, maybe to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like they're going to actually mark that he lost a yard there.
Yeah, it's a good tackle by Christian Harrison there to chop down Marshall as he was trying to gain the edge there and going to set up a 3rd and long situation for this Caney Creek offense, and I think this is 2-down territory here based on the outcome of this play.
They are in Indian territory right now at the 33-yard line. It's Marshall take the snap. He's going to look to throw. It's going to be a little dump pass to Pollard, and they'll get a couple of yards there, and no sign of the punting unit or the kicking unit. So Caney Creek will keep the offense out on the field now for 4th down and 9 at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, 4th and 9 here. Attempted a 40-yard field goal a few moments back and had the leg to kick it, but just a little bit wide on the kick. So this time electing to keep the offense out and seeing if they can make a play here. 4th and 9.5.
Marshall line up in the split shotgun formation. Cleveland showing a blitz. They won't send one. It looks like it's going to be a screen pass, but it's going to look like it was tipped at the line. So now it'll be a turnover on downs, and the Cleveland Indians will take over on offense from their own 29-yard line.
Yeah, trying to find Hughes there on a middle screen, but just invited a little too much penetration there to where they didn't have a clean avenue to throw that football in. It's like when you're setting up the screen, you want to invite some pressure, but you don't want to invite all of the pressure. And there they just kind of let too much get in the face of the quarterback before they could execute that play.
As now, what do you think needs to happen on this drive for the Indians to try and get that 0 off the scoreboard?
Yeah, I think for Cleveland, they've got to find a way to get on the perimeter and maybe take a shot downfield, too. As good as Caney Creek has been penetration, throw some screens in there to maybe throw off some of that pursuit from the Panther defense is what I would do.
Caney Creek showing a blitz. They will send one, and that's going to be an end around. He's going to turn around. It's going to be spun down all of the downs and is going to be going down at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, trying to set up a bit of misdirection there. It looked like maybe a counter play trying to go back the other direction, but they, again, kind of a theme we've seen on both sides, inviting too much penetration from the defense to just disrupt everything in the backfield before it can really get going. And you can see the benefit of the design of what they were attempting. They're just not the cleanest execution, so 2nd and long now.
Could probably make a 3-11 song with the amount of times I said down during that call, as now Nixon, 3 receivers to his right. He's going to look to throw. He's going to fall as he throws, and it's going to be. They're going to say that he intercepted it. Yes, they're did. Number 20, Eric Hernandez on the interception, playing center field there almost for this Caney Creek defense.
Yep, officials talking it over here. Early indication is that they were going to call it an interception, but we'll see if he got all the way under it. No, they're going to call it incomplete now. Heartbreak Hotel for the Caney Creek defense. They thought they had a big play there by Hernandez. It looked close. I couldn't tell from my vantage point if he was able to get kind of cleanly under it, and the officials had a conference down on the field to kind of talk amongst themselves there and concluded incomplete.
Looks like the turf monster got Nixon there as he was falling down as he threw that football. Lucky that it was incomplete.
Yeah, outstanding effort, though, by Hernandez to try and make that happen. Darn near pulled it off.
3rd down and 15 for the Indians. Pistol formation, 3 receivers to Nixon's left. He's going to take the snap. He's going to be pressured. Now he's going to try to run, and he's going to be thrown down. Xavier Martinez, the senior linebacker who has made his presence known on this Caney Creek team, gets him for the tackle for loss.
Yeah, been extremely disruptive here on the night, made multiple plays in the backfield. Punt team for the Indians back on the field. Once again, another great opportunity for the Panthers to create some great field position here. They really dominated the field position here in the first half. Nothing to show for it yet, though, unfortunately, for the Caney Creek scoring.
Baselli just about at midfield to return Hernandez's kick. A good snap. It's going to be a punt. We'll have to see if he returns it. Baselli will try to return it. He's got a little bit of room. Now he's trying to find some blockers and break some tackles. He's going to be dragged out of bounds by his jersey at about the 29-yard line is where they're going to mark him. Great starting field position for Caney Creek. How can they capitalize on this?
Yeah, they need to stick with their approach in the ground game so far, maybe try and hit it up a little bit more inside, straight ahead in the running game now that they've established that sweep, and Cleveland's been a bit wiser to the edge threat here on the past couple of drives, so looking for Caney Creek to start mixing up the approach slightly here on this possession to try and punch in the first points of the evening, but she said phenomenal opportunity to do just that starting on the 29.
Beckett will be back in at quarterback. They've been alternating quarterbacks every drive so far this game. Beckett will hand it off to Thompson, who will get hit and brought down for a gain of only a yard. So that's something interesting now. We haven't seen them do this before during the season, but Caney Creek, they're alternating quarterbacks.
Yep, running a true platoon here tonight from the looks of it, getting both Beckett involved alongside Marshall Jr. and sophomore, so they'll have both back again next season, so all the reps they're getting now be really valuable.
Beckett will line up in the pistol formation, be a handoff to Thompson, and Thompson running his way through a bunch of defenders there for the first down. A good, hard first down, powerful run there by Derek Thompson, the freshman starting running back for this Caney Creek Panther offense.
Yeah, and I like how he followed his block through the hole there. He put a hand on the hip of his offensive lineman, his hog buddy, who's leading him to the promised land there through the hole, and that's one of those direct runs I was calling for a moment ago. Now that they've established that sweep action, I think those direct runs could make a lot of positive gains, and they got one there.
Now it's going to be a misdirection. He's got some open field, and once again, another good run there, and it looks like this Caney Creek offensive line has been doing a really good job at opening up those holes for him.
Yep, now they're opening the gaps on the inside after we saw those jet sweeps earlier in the game, and now they're kind of taking advantage of that, and they are mixing it up now, what we were calling for at the start of this drive, and setting up second short now, knocking on the door.
Huge props to this Caney Creek offensive line so far on this drive, as once again another misdirection, and the lineman once again opening a great hole for him to get inside the 5. Down at the 4-yard line will Thompson be. First down and goal for the Panthers.
Yeah, first and goal from the 4, and keep doing what you're doing on offense at this point. They're opening up some big gaps inside there, so finish it off now.
Pistol formation, another handoff to Thompson. They'll mark him down at the 2-yard line. So now second down and goal from the 2.
Yep, just lost his legs there before he could power into the end zone, but still a good solid gain of a couple yards there.
Seems anything in goal is almost strange territory, as now Thompson will go into the end zone for a Caney Creek touchdown. Something that hasn't happened since week 1 of the season happens here with 5 minutes and 18 seconds left in the first quarter, and that will be the freshman Derek Thompson following his blockers all the way into the end zone for 6.
Yeah, great job there by the Caney Creek offense, taking advantage of the field position they were given. Starting on the 29, I believe, of Cleveland when that drive began. Executed some nice run plays to punch it into pay dirt there for the first points of the evening as we hit the lights for the first time here this evening at Moorhead Stadium.
Juan Perez will be the place kicker for this extra point. Beckett the holder. Snap is a little bit high. It looks like we're going to have a flag down. I have to see what it is. It looked like there was a little bit of movement on the lines.
Yeah, one of the Caney Creek blockers was launched backwards by his Cleveland counterpart there. See if he was drawn or if it was encroachment on that.
The referees are talking to both coaches.
Offsides. Defense. We have this to the goal. Replay first down. Second charge time out. Okay.
So now after that, it looks like the offense is getting in a huddle.
Yeah,
it looks like they're going to try to go for it here. Ball will be placed at about the 1.5-yard line now.
Yep, so Cleveland jumping off sides there, knocking the blocker for Caney Creek backwards, so they're going to move it up to the 1, and Caney Creek immediately deciding to huddle their offense up and call that timeout so they can get a good play in here for this 2-point conversion. Can make a huge difference in a game like this where maybe we don't see a ton of points scored. So every little bit you can get helps. Just a little over 5 minutes away from halftime, 5:18 on our clock here in the second quarter.
We do want to remind you that Cleveland's band and their drill team will perform, but Caney Creek, their band and the drill team will not perform until after the game. And as we mentioned before, we will still show their halftime performance, or what would be their halftime performance after the game, which we'll leave you alone. We'll turn up the field mic and we'll let you enjoy that. So now here comes the offense for this 2-point try. Back in at quarterback. The running back will be number 28, Jonathan Javier. Line up in the pistol. One receiver to his right, two to his left. Cleveland showing a blitz. Looks like they'll send one. And the pass will be caught. And the 2 points will be good. Pass caught there by Andrew Hammond. Number 22, the senior linebacker and running back. Which brings your score, Caney Creek 8, Cleveland 0.
Yeah, great play call and perfect execution there on the part of the Caney Creek offense to convert the 2 points. It's the perfect play they had drawn up there. I like what they did a lot there, just dragging that flat route out on the back of the play action. So just great design on there, and see plays like that run in the NFL by the likes of the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers, especially run plays like that. So it's just a really nice play call and execution by the Panthers.
Now, how would you like to see this Cleveland offense respond after that touchdown, which is the first touchdown out of the game, first touchdown in district play for the Panthers?
Yeah, we're a little over 5 minutes away from half, so plenty of time on the clock. No need to panic or rush anything, but what I would like to see is Cleveland test Caney Creek down the field a bit if they can, draw something up to attack the vertical areas of the field, which we haven't seen much of through the air. They showed it, I think, initially on the first drive. They actually converted a first down off of a vertical pass and then attempted another that was broken up down on the sideline by the Caney Creek defense. So I think Cleveland would do well to maybe go back to that and see if they can pop something big play-wise in the passing game potentially, because Caney Creek, they've been getting so much penetration. That's a difficult thing to do because you need a little bit more time to attempt a deep ball. So, yeah, maybe try some more of the screens, too, to throw some of that off maybe before they try and take that deep shot. But, yeah, got to find a way to get that front for Caney Creek off balance and prevent them from disrupting their backfield so much.
And Mass's kick will go into the end zone, which will bring the ball out to, I believe, the 25-yard line. Yes, the 25-yard line is where the Indians will start this next drive. We'll have to see if they do, like you said, test the waters a little bit for that deep ball. They've been very conservative so far with their offense, not going too deep. They're running the ball a lot is what they've been seemed to do. They've been doing those quarterback runs, which actually is the reason why Caney Creek got the takeaway, which we'll have to see what they do with Nixon. Is that looks like
maybe going
no,
Wildcat.
They're going Wildcat. Dominic Gilkey in the backfield, pistol formation. Design run for Gilkey, and he will get a couple of yards before being met at the line of scrimmage by a whole host of Panthers.
Yeah, and Gilkey so far, he's looked to be the most likely player for Cleveland to hit a big play, so no surprise that they would put him in that Wildcat package there and try and catch the opponent off guard there.
As Gilkey is staying in at quarterback, that is something interesting. Maybe he's only listed on our rosters as a wide receiver or defensive back. Maybe internally they also see him as someone that they could put as quarterback as he is lined up in the pistol formation.
Yep.
Cleveland has been running with a tight end, two tight ends actually, as one of them goes in motion.
Yep, just trying to give their best player the ball and see what he can do.
Yep. Get back to the line of scrimmage on a power quarterback designed run out of that Wildcat formation just to the line of scrimmage. They'll bring up 3rd down and 9, keeping the clock running, as now Nixon will come back into the formation as quarterback.
Yeah, I think their heart's in the right place in terms of what they're trying to do here, but I think an added kind of misdirection element would help them throw off some of the pressure that they've been under so far from this Caney Creek front. So I think they'll need to add a little bit of that in to open up some holes in the running game, kind of similar to what Caney Creek just did on their scoring drive.
3rd down and 9, Caney Creek showing pressure off the edge, and they will send it as it'll be a quick pass out to Cook, who won't get very far. Looks like they're going to mark him, maybe a yard on that reception on that little swing pass.
Yep, nowhere to go on that one. Trying to get out wide on the swing pass. We take a brief break there while the Cleveland player receives some attention on the field. And Caney Creek defense just looking very dialed in right now on this Cleveland offense, just making all kinds of good plays and not looking like they're under huge threat here to be scored upon unless there's a turnover or a big special teams play. They've really settled in nicely, I feel like, over the course of this second quarter here, has the Panthers defense. And yeah, just over 3 minutes until half, so when we get this punt away here, assuming we get possession to turn over successfully back to Caney Creek, once again they'll have some phenomenal field position to work with, and looks like they've got Kuhn back deep for this punt.
And that's what I was mentioning earlier. These Caney Creek will get the ball at halftime, so now whenever they get the ball back, if they score, they can go up by 3 scores on Cleveland. Just like that, almost in just a couple of minutes of game clock, they can get the lead, get that big momentum, just like that.
Yeah, and that's a monumental lead in a game like this where you're playing a little bit lower on the scoreboard, kind of 1990s style football. 3-possession lead is a huge lead when you're using as much clock as these teams have with their possession, and points have just been, in generally, a little bit more difficult to come by.
Hernandez's kick is away. Will take a bounce, but Kuhn will return it. Breaking tackles, losing his helmet as he gets to the 38-yard line, which once again, it's been great field position for Caney Creek almost all night.
Yep, they've been living on the Cleveland side of the 50-yard line. I feel like every possession, save for maybe one where they started on their own side of the 50. I believe that's what it's been tonight. Only one time they've started in negative territory with the ball. So, yeah, outstanding starting field position for this Panther offense. They have a great opportunity here to put another score between them and Cleveland here before they go into happen, as you rightly pointed out, receiving the ball to start the third quarter. So it could be a really critical juncture in the game now for Caney Creek and Cleveland, obviously, as well, based on how this goes here.
Marshall in the backfield, Pollard to his left along with 2 receivers. Send his man in motion. It's going to be a screen pass to Pollard. He's got blockers out in front, and he's going to go down the sidelines, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds, but not before getting in the red zone. A good hit there by number 2. That is Dominique Gilkey, who we just saw on offense as quarterback and in the return game. He's playing all 3 phases for this Indian team.
Yep, doing Ironman football, as we say, and just a nicely executed screen there to Pollard. And quarterback barely got that one away. Marshall kind of took a bit of a shot after he got rid of that, but made the play. Now back in the red zone.
Back in the red zone at the 14-yard line, 1st down and 10. As Marshall take the snap, it'll be another quick screen. Just a little too high for his intended receiver, Kuhn, that's the 3rd time, actually, I believe, that they've gone to that quick receiver screen to Kuhn.
Yep, and a play that you use as a run substitute and a chance to just get on the perimeter very quickly and let your athletes make a play in space. High percentage play if you can get it executed.
As on comes Andrew Hammond, as now Marshall is in the pistol formation. Take the snap, a handoff to Pollard, who's fighting off tackles for another good run. This Caney Creek team, it seems like they've been playing hard smash mouth football all game, especially when running the ball.
Yeah, I love seeing the running back fight for the yardage like that. I mean, he was in there throwing haymakers running through that hole. I wouldn't have been wanting to be in range of that arm motion he was throwing there going through the hole. But, yeah, he really wanted those yards.
It's now Marshall in the pistol formation again. Now it's going to be another handoff to Pollard, and Pollard's going to try to bowl his way. It's going to be down. They're going to get the 1st down, I believe. Yes, they are. It'll bring up 1st down and goal at about the 3.5-yard line.
Yeah, another great effort by the running back there, just running hard and doing everything he can to make a play. You love to see it. Just really fighting for those yards. Great running.
Marshall lineup. The pistol, he's going to fake it, a bootleg. Marshall's going to look to throw, and it's going to be intercepted in the end zone. An amazing diving interception by Christian Harrison, and a big play for this Cleveland defense.
Yeah, huge play by the defense. They had the play open in the end zone, but just couldn't quite get the ball elevated enough to get to the receiver who was open. It was the same play they ran, Wesley, on that 2-point conversion that they executed so well a moment ago. But this time, the shallow flat route underneath was covered, but he had the deeper option available in the back of the end zone, which is where the pass was going to. But again, just couldn't get enough height on the football, and Cleveland defender making an excellent defensive play there to keep his team in the game, at least for the moment here, as we're under the 2-minute mark to go until half.
Yeah, that was a great diving interception, too. He believed that he could fly there. He believed he could touch the sky. He's probably going to be thinking about that interception almost every night and day for the rest of the season.
Yep, I would put that one right on the highlight video and send it out to everybody you know. It's just a great big play they were able to make there. And again, just absolutely critical, because as we were talking about, Caney Creek getting the ball out of halftime, it's like you've got to make a stand there and not give Caney Creek the opportunity to put that distance on the scoreboard.
It's a big drive for Nixon and the Caney Creek offense. Now Nixon's going to look to throw. He's going to look to throw it deep down the field, and it's going to be caught for the first down. And that's what you were talking about testing this Caney Creek secondary. The catch made there on the play by, I believe, it looks like that is number 5. That is Christian Harrison, who just caught the interception.
Yep, doing it both ways. Again, Ironman football going each direction. So we have the first down reset, 1.5 minutes to go until half.
Nixon in the empty backfield is going to look to throw the screen pass, but there's going to be almost the entire Caney Creek defense. There is a flag, however, on the near side of the play, so we'll have to see what they got. That's in the area of a holding or something that happened at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, could have been a little anxious to start the play maybe again. We'll see.
So we await the official.
Legal formation, offense. That penalties decline. Be second down.
It's like illegal formation, which usually means somebody that was supposed to be on the line of scrimmage didn't quite get lined up that way before the snap.
So declining, it'll bring up second down and 10. Second down and 11, actually. A same formation, empty backfield for Nixon. 3 receivers to his right. Now Nixon's going to try to run for it, but he's going to be dragged down for a sack. It looks like in there for the Caney Creek defense, number 45, Raphael Whitting, but there is a flag down.
Flag down. Could be in the area of a hold.
So once again, await.
Holding. Offense number 61. Decline. Third down.
So the penalty is declined there, so they do get the loss of down. 1 minute and 12 seconds now. Same formation as the past few plays. Now it's going to roll out, and now Nixon's going to run with it. It's going to be incomplete. It looks like he was a little bit before the line. It was across the line of scrimmage, which is where the flag is going to be thrown. So it will be a legal forward pass, and it'll bring on the punt unit for the Indians, which that seemed like a promising drive, but penalties, they got to him there.
Yeah, they did, and lucky to not turn the ball over on that last play with the throw beyond the line of scrimmage there. Hit the Caney Creek defender actually square in the chest before it hit the ground. He was going for a receiver who was stationary and just threw it by him, and Caney Creek nearly coming up with the interception. So a little bit fortunate for the Indians there to avoid a turnover, because he had a lot of room in front of him to run had he been able to come up with that interception. But once again, minute left and 1 timeout remaining for Caney Creek. 1 also remaining for Cleveland until half.
A minute left as Hernandez will punt, and Boselli standing in between midfield and his own 45-yard line.
Yeah, Caney Creek rotating their return men here. Sometimes it's Boselli back there, and other times Kuhn.
It's a good punt.
Got a hold
It'll
of that
go
one.
over Boselli's head, and it's going to take a good bounce to about the 22-yard line. So a great punt there by the punter, Guillermo Hernandez.
Yeah, Mr. Hernandez got all of us put on that one. Just hit that one on the screws and sent that one into orbit there. That was a mammoth punt.
That is definitely a punt Pat McAfee would be proud of.
Absolutely. That's how you flip field position there, something which Cleveland has just not had on their side at all here tonight. This is the first time tonight where Caney Creek has really pinned this deep. By far the worst starting field position of the night for the Caney Creek offense. See if they are feeling a little bit more daring here, or if they're just going to take it into halftime. See if they've got maybe a gadget up their sleeve here.
So now it'll be Beckett in at quarterback with Thompson to his left. Take the snap. He's going to look to throw. Quick screen pass over the middle. And it's going to bowl over a defender. Is number 1, Amarian Hughes, who gets the first down. Clock stops with 43 seconds left as they reset the chains.
His first catch tonight. That's the first time we've seen him make a play.
So now they're going to spike it there. As, yeah, you didn't mention that is the first time that we have called his name all night, I believe.
Yeah, he is one of the best players on this team for sure in terms of his ability to turn the Jets on and make a play. So you'd think they want to really get him a lot more involved in the second half.
So now Beckett, same formation. Going to look to throw a little bit deeper there. Nobody home, possibly a little bit of a miscommunication there with the receiver and quarterback.
Yep, yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there. Quarterback throw into the corner, the sideline, and the receiver was kind of turning it upfield into the deeper area there.
So now bring up third down, which interesting now. If they don't get the first down here and they bring up fourth down, that means Cleveland will have, even if it's just 30 seconds or less than 20 seconds on the board, as now it's going to be an end around, a little bit of a razzle-dazzle there to Kuhn as he will get the first down.
Yep, nice call there, getting creative on the end around. To get the first down, they're going to go quick here to conserve that timeout.
And they're just going to spike it.
Yep, killing the clock there. 18 seconds to go until half after that spike. Officially in Hail Mary territory, if it comes to that.
Yeah, they'll probably start taking some of those deeper shots, at least try to get into field goal range. We saw Massey attempt a 40-yarder from earlier in the game. It wasn't good, but it did have the leg, just not the accuracy. So now Beckett line up the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right and the running back to his right. Take the snap. He's going to look to throw. Throwing it a little bit deeper, and it's going to be incomplete. Pass intended for Amarian Hughes. Good pass coverage there by number 22 for the Indians, Jarvion Payne.
Yep, tried to throw it up there where his receiver would have a chance to make a play on it. Just couldn't quite get the connection down there where they could make that play on the football. Fortunate to avoid the interception.
So the final charge timeout for the Panthers will be taken. 13 seconds left. Third down and 10. Caney Creek leading Cleveland 8-0 here at Buddy Moorhead Stadium in Conroe, Texas.
Yeah, under the Friday night lights here now. It's the bands and drill teams getting position down on the track. And again, we're going to turn up the field mic for y'all at halftime so you can enjoy all those festivities. And again, as Wesley mentioned earlier, stick around after the game because we're going to have even more for you after the final whistle here tonight with more performances down on the field. So please stick around on the YouTube stream there and enjoy all of that after our action is done on the field tonight.
Now, we'll have to see what they do. If they do indeed start trying to throw it deep, if they do go into Hail Mary formation, as Cleveland are not playing too deep. Their farthest defenders are at their own, in between their own 40 and 35-yard line, as now Hughes will go in motion. It's going to be a miscommunication on the snap there, as now it would appear that would probably be the last play of the half.
Yep, we're going to take it into the locker room with that, with the home team, Caney Creek Panthers, leading 8-0 here on homecoming night at Moorhead Stadium. Again, we're going to turn up the field mic for y'all at halftime So stick around and enjoy that. Enjoy the homecoming festivities here for Caney Creek. And the performance from the Cleveland band and drill team as well. And then after the game, we're going to have the band performance for Caney Creek. So stick around for that. But Caney Creek will be getting the ball to start the third quarter when we come back for football action. And we will see you then on the other side of half.
this is returning Jennifer Bergman and Mr. Bill Hunt. We would also like to wish the best of luck to the Caney Creek High School marching bands during their 2025 marching contest season. And on behalf of the Cleveland Independent School District, thank you for your kind attention and enjoy your evening. Welcome to Caney Creek High School's 2025 Homecoming Ceremony. First, we would like to acknowledge all Caney Creek alumni returning for tonight's homecoming celebration. If you are an alumni, please rise and let's greet them with a big round of applause. Now please direct your attention to the field as we present the 2025 Caney Creek High School homecoming court. Representing the freshman class of judges is Gracie Hernandez. Gracie is escorted by her father, Felix Hernandez. The freshman class beat is Kevin Torres. Kevin is escorted by his parents, Lucio and Yesenia Torres. Representing the sophomore class as judges is Heidi Sanchez. Heidi is escorted by her mother, Ellen Torres. The sophomore class boot is Zayn El Ali. Zayn is the son of Cynthia and Racine El Ali. He's escorted by his mother, Cynthia Laverdor, and stepfather, Brian Rivers. Representing the junior class as judges is Lillian Pache. Lillian is escorted by her father, Frederick Pache. The junior class beat is Devin Brown. Brown is actually Sarah Day. And now for your 2025 Homecoming Court Loyalty, Homecoming Queen candidate Esmeralda Mario. Esmeralda is the daughter of Valencia and Lila Rose. She's escorted by her parents. Esmeralda is a member of the National English Honor Society and COSA. Esmeralda plans to attend San Houston State University to study nursing. Homecoming Queen candidate Ellis Davis. Ellis is the son of Edward Davis and Natalie Garcia. He's escorted by his parents. Everett is a member of the National Honor Society and plays football. He plans to attend the University of Texas at Austin to study business. Homecoming Queen candidate Avery Castaneda. Avery is a daughter of Abby and Nicole Castaneda. She's escorted by her mother. Avery is a member of AHS and the National Honor Society. She plans to attend Western Texas College to play softball and study radiology. Homecoming Queen candidate Eric Early. Eric is the son of Tina Early. He's escorted by his mother. Eric is a member of the National Honor Society and a section leader in right-hander band. Eric plans to attend Texas Tech University to study social work. Homecoming Queen candidate Bianca Castro. Bianca is a member of Castro. She's escorted by her parents. Bianca is a Scarlet's routine colonel, earned her CCNA, and is a member of honor societies. She plans to attend Emory University to major in psychology. Homecoming Queen candidate Xavier Martinez. Xavier is escorted by Ryan Louise. He is a first team all-conference linebacker in Caney Creek's 2024 Defensive Player of the Year. Xavier also holds the Caney Creek High School shot put record and earned academic all-district honors. He plans to play regional football after high school. Homecoming Queen candidate Stephanie Jackson. Stephanie is the daughter of Maria and Paul Jackson. She is escorted tonight by her older brother Alan Jackson. Stephanie is a member of the Scarlet's 14 and the Paris and Fuego, Folklorico, and Ballroom dance team. She plans to attend Texas A&M University to study dance. Homecoming Queen candidate David Perez. David is the son of Hector and Monica Perez. She's escorted by his dad, Hector Perez. David plays basketball and after graduation plans to attend grad school to become an electrician. Homecoming Queen candidate Iris Villa. Iris is a daughter of Victoria Villa and Ricardo Pena. She's escorted by her parents. Iris is a member of the Student Council, and she plans to attend Texas A&M University to study business. Homecoming Queen candidate Samuel Ramos. Samuel is the son of Maritza and Alfio Ramos. He's escorted by his grandfather, John Marcus. He is a member of the First Methodist Hospital Church and a member of their student leadership team. He plans on attending East State University to study marketing. Homecoming Queen candidate Kimberly Raquel Ferdinand. Kimberly is the daughter of Ferdinand and Yolanda Corral. She's escorted by her parents. Kimberly is a member of the Student Council and COSA. Kimberly plans on attending Texas A&M University in Texarkana to study biology. Homecoming Queen candidate Eduardo Torres. Eduardo is the son of Joseph and Peter Wright. He's escorted by his parents. Eduardo is a member of the National Honor Society, National English Honor Society, Moolah Capoeira, Tri-Honor Society, tennis, and is a leader of the Mighty Warrior Band. Eduardo Virginia Texas Tech to study architecture and civil engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 2025 Caney Creek Homecoming Court. And now, the numbers you all are waiting for. The announcement of this year's homecoming king and queen. When the king and queen are announced, they will move to the 50-yard line. This year's king will be receiving his crown for last year's king, Brandon Spurley. Ladies and gentlemen, selected by the entire student body as the 2025 Caney Creek High School Homecoming Queen, Ellis Davis. This year's queen will receive her crown from last year's queen, Melissa Keaton. And presenting jerseys is Caney Creek High School Principal Dr. Jim Stigler. The 2025 Caney Creek High School Homecoming Queen is Marilla Cole. Congratulations to all the homecoming court red team. And thank you for all the festivities. A special thanks to the High Panther Band, Junior ROTC, and the Scarlets for their contribution to tonight's festivities.
Well, after that, congratulations to our homecoming king queen, as now here come the Caney Creek Panthers, ready to start this second half of football, up 8-0 on their rivals, the Cleveland Indians.
That's right here, Caney Creek enjoying an 8-0 lead going into halftime. They get the ball to start the third quarter action here as we hit the light show at Moorhead, welcoming the teams back onto the field after a great halftime. Caney Creek really taking control there in the second quarter, wanting to follow it up with a strong start to the third quarter here, come out of the locker room and play well. Always the objective when you go in, because you know the other team's going to make some adjustments. Make sure you keep on doing what you need to do, and most importantly, when you have a chance, seize control of the football game, and that's what Caney Creek has a chance to do right here out of the gate.
Caney Creek will receive after Cleveland received the opening kickoff, so we will see the Caney Creek return unit come out for the first time, and we will also see the Cleveland kickoff unit come out for the first time here tonight.
Yeah, Wesley, one thing we were talking about at halftime was the fatigue factor that may set in here in the second half with a lot of the Cleveland guys going both ways. Be interesting to see what kind of a factor that stamina, just how big of a factor that comes into play here in the second half, and if Caney Creek is eventually able to make that count in their favor. Found some success at the end of the first half, hitting up some inside running lanes and picked up some chunks of yards on their way to scoring the first touchdown of the evening on that drive, so we'll see if they can follow up on some of that success they had running in between the tackles here to start the second half, or if they mix it up a little bit, try and maybe get on the edge or maybe even take a shot. But yeah, they'll need to first secure this kickoff, of course, which we'll have here in a few seconds.
Kuhn and Hughes will be on to return for Caney Creek. They're standing at their own 15-yard line, and on to kick for the Indians will be Guillermo Hernandez. We have also seen take over punting duties tonight as he's teeing up the ball and getting ready to start us off for the second half of action. Once again, Caney Creek leading 8-0.
Yep, and as we said off the top, for one of these teams, the O must go here this evening, get that first W on the board.
As Hernandez's kick is away, it's going to be an onside kick, but we're going to see who corrals it. There's a pile.
Looks like Caney Creek got their hands on the ball first. We'll see if they held on to it.
They're going to signal that it is Caney Creek football, which, once again, amazing starting field position. It feels like we've been saying that a lot, but field position has really played a big part in this game.
Yeah, huge role for Caney Creek. They've really dominated in field position all night, only had negative field position one time that entire first half, and that was actually a really tricky onside to field there, going up the middle of the field. It did go beyond the 10 yards, so had Caney Creek not recovered that, that would have been Cleveland ball. So great job by the up back there for Caney Creek being alert.
And it'll be Marshall under center to line up in the shotgun formation. It'll be a handoff to Thompson, who's going to try to find some room, and he's going to get 8 yards on the carry, bring up second down and 2, which Caney Creek, they've been showing this rotating backfield of their quarterbacks and their running backs, which do you think they're trying to take advantage of that fatigue factor that they know Cleveland will have by keeping fresh guys in from there behind?
Yeah, and showing some signs of that by hitting up these inside running lanes and getting chunks of yards.
So now once again a handoff to Thompson, who's trying to break off tackles, and he's going to get the first down and more there, up to the 32-yard line. Now Caney Creek is slowly starting to build some momentum here in the second half, as we will have a timeout for an injured Cleveland play.
Yeah, same play there. One going to the right side on the run, then they followed up with the same thing going back to the left side there with the freshman Thompson, who's really been heavily featured here tonight, getting a lot of valuable reps for him. Scored our only touchdown of the evening there in the first half, punched it in from close range from about the 1 or 2 yard line, I believe, on our touchdown that we had in the first half. And as we mentioned, Caney Creek seeming to have found a key to success here just by doing these in between the tackle runs. They did such a good job initially in the game of stretching the field horizontally and getting Cleveland chasing to the sideline, and now they're just hitting them up inside, taking advantage maybe of some of the stamina advantage that they have now established in the game, with Cleveland getting a bit wore out potentially with a lot of the guys they have going both ways. So we're seeing some more and wider lanes opening in the running game that Caney Creek is all too happy to exploit right now.
Always good to see a player jog off the field there. Now we'll bring up first down and 10 on the 32-yard line for this Panther offense. They have been in Indian territory, as we said earlier in the game, almost all game. It seems like they haven't run a lot of plays from their own side of the 50, as now Marshall will take the snap. Another handoff to Thompson to the outside this time. Thompson trying to find some space, and he's going to get another first down. Thompson has been a really big part of this Caney Creek offense tonight.
Yeah, he's really enjoying himself right now, getting into a lot of space, making a nice cut there at the end of that run. They're going to go fast tempo offense.
With this tempo, it's going to be a handoff up the middle.
Flag comes down.
Don't think Cleveland got their players off the field in time. So maybe an illegal procedure on the defense.
Illegal participation, defense. The penalty accepted, the 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
Nailed it.
So bring up first down and 5 now from the 15-yard line. They can still get a first down at the 5 if they get there, as now Marshall will motion the fullback, and it'll be a handoff to Thompson again. He'll be met at the line of scrimmage for little to no gain there on the play.
Yeah, good play by the Cleveland defense there. Caney Creek trying to execute power run there with the lead blocker, but no space to work with there. It was good penetration by Cleveland, getting off the blocks and blowing that up before it could get going.
So now Peyton Pollard will be the back, lined up to the left of Marshall. A little bit of a low snap. Marshall will still be able to handle it, as it'll be a run up the middle once again for little to no gain. And it seems like this Cleveland defense, they're starting to catch on. That's 2 back-to-back stops at the line of scrimmage.
Yep, tightening up inside here, so maybe an opportunity for Caney Creek potentially to try and get back on the edge now that they have their attention inside a little bit. We'll see what they elect to do here. They can run just about anything on this down and distance.
Third down and 5. Kuhn will go in motion. They'll go with the jet sweep to him. He's trying to get to the outside, but he won't be able to. Multiple 4 or 5 flags down. Every single official threw their flag. Must have been something very noticeable then.
I haven't seen that much laundry since I left the house earlier this afternoon. I mean, wow. Who didn't throw a flag?
Definitely in the area of holding or some sort.
Holding. Off 69. 10-yard penalty, replay, third down.
It's going to be holding on one of the offensive linemen there. Number 69, Cody Lane, sophomore offensive lineman, which once again goes back to this Caney Creek team. Both of these teams actually being very young. A lot of 10s and 11s here on our roster, not as many 12s as you would see across the district.
Yep, 3rd and 14 here. We'll see if they keep it a little bit safer with the play design or maybe take a shot.
Hughes will be in motion. Marshall's going to look to throw. It's going to be a screen pass to Thompson. And he's going to get some blocks, but he won't be able to get the first down, as now we will have to see if they keep the offense on the field. But first there's a timeout for an injured Indian.
Yep, injured Indian down on the field, cut away briefly. It was a really nice effort there on that catch and run by Derek Thompson. Again, we been calling his name a ton tonight. He's really getting the lion's share of the workload here this evening for Caney Creek on the offensive side of the football, and he's answering the call here so far. Based on the leg that we saw displayed by the Caney Creek field goal kicker in the first half, I think this is well within the range, so I would expect the kicker to take the field here and try and tack 3 more on, but maybe they'll be in the mood to kind of push it and go for it and really try and create a big momentum play, because the benefit is, Wesley, if they miss it, they've got Cleveland pinned very deep in their own territory.
It would be about a 37-yard field goal from the current spot of the football, so only 3 yards shy of the attempted 40-yarder from earlier, which that kick, it had the leg, it just didn't have the accuracy. From our vantage point, it looked like he made it, but that's also just our angle that we have of the field goal posts.
Yeah, we've got the TV angle up here in the booth where we're at, not always the clearest view when it comes to which goalpost the football flies by. If it gets just inside or goes wide, it was very close. Definitely had the leg. It would have been good from 10 yards further out on the leg power.
As now they're going to keep the offense out on the field. 4th down and 11. Big play here for both sides, as Marshall will line up 3 receivers to his right, a tight end and a receiver to his left, or he's going to look to throw now. Marshall, he's being chased, he's being pressured. Marshall's going to look to run for the first down, but he will meet a man, and it looks like we'll have to see if they give it to him. If not, he was knocked out of bounds yard short.
It was an excellent effort. I mean, he threw his shoulder into that at the end of the run and really tried to get the first down, but couldn't quite get ahead of the chain. But, yeah, great effort, because drop back, wanted the deep ball, but nothing was there. Got flushed around the right-hand side, just had to try and go for it, hit the sideline, and almost got it.
So now that's a turnover on downs, and now we'll have to see what happened in the locker room, what changes were made with this Cleveland offense, who hasn't been able to get much going for them except for the opening drive where they did get some first downs and a little bit of momentum. What do you think has to change for them?
I think main thing they need to do is block better this half than they did in the first half. Just allowed way too much penetration early in the game, so they've got to get that short up and then see if they can maybe take some more shots downfield.
Design quarterback run for Nixon. He's going to break some tackles, and he's going to lose the football. Recovered by Caney Creek, his second fumble of the day for Nixon. It's going to be recovered there by number 15, Dane Cook, the senior linebacker.
Yeah, and really similar dynamics to what we saw in the first fumble, Wesley, where Cleveland got a ball carrier loose running through the middle of the field, making some nifty cuts, but with those cuts comes a little bit of sacrifice on ball security sometimes, and didn't take much to get the ball out there, just hit the turf at the tail end of that run, and Caney Creek, massive opportunity here.
As now will be Beckett in the game at quarterback, once again showing that they are simply just switching quarterbacks every drive.
Yep, keeping up with the rotation we saw in the first half, also rotating the running back as well. Got Pollard in the game now.
So hand off to the running back, that's number 28, that is Jordan Javier, sophomore running back there, who gets about 3 yards on the carry, bring up 2nd down and 7. One thing I've noticed, Caney Creek, they have been running a majority of their plays out of the pistol formation. Both teams have, but with the spread offenses around the district, that's not something that you see much anymore. So now, Beckett setting the formation. Javier to his left, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. He's going to send his man in motion, another jet sweep to Kuhn, and Kuhn is trying to break some tackles, and he'll be down at the 11-yard line, excuse me.
Yep, just short of the line to gain for the first down, so it'll be 3rd and very short after that. That's the first time we've seen Kuhn get loosed around the edge there since the first half, when they were really working that play heavily in the first quarter.
Yeah, not the first time, obviously, that they have used that jet sweep, or even before in previous games they've used end arounds. and even some double reverses, which shows they're not afraid to get a little tricky whenever sending their receivers in motion, which is something that Cleveland is going to have to look out for. So a little bit of a low snap, handoff to Thompson, running his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers, on a big bruising run there for Derek Thompson, the freshman running back, for his second touchdown of the game, which will bring the lead to 14-0 for the Panthers.
Yeah, outstanding run play again by Thompson, just showing great effort, great will and fight to get into the end zone there. Not going down easily, just super impressed with the effort that he's shown here tonight and the workload that he's been able to carry. I mean, just really, really impressive performance. He's putting this Caney Creek team on his back tonight.
Perez's kick is up and good, which will bring our score 15-0. With 7 minutes and 25 seconds left here in the third quarter, as we once again see the light show, this amazing light show, this new renovation that they have implemented here. And ironically, on our sister channel, we can see right here, they also have their own light show, which means Grand Oaks has scored against New Caney. Don't know the exact score of that game. At halftime, it was 26-0, but it is also Grand Oaks' homecoming, so it's a week of homecoming here for the district.
And on the theme of homecoming, since we're on an unusual score of 15, I'm going to call the score 15-love to Caney Creek. Borrow some tennis terminology here.
Love the different sports terminologies that you like to bring in. I know
Yeah.
I've referenced sometimes if there's a good PBU, got a reference at Dikembe Mutombo, got a little finger wag and no.
And do you know why they say love in tennis? Do you know where that comes from?
I actually do not.
It comes from the French word for the egg, l'oeuf, or l'oeuf. My French is a little rusty. Sorry, people, for putting you through that. But basically, it comes from the French word meaning the egg, as in the goose egg. So that's why tennis became anglicized to just love. So anyway, there you go. Didn't know you were going to get some tennis trivia tonight, did you?
Gilkey and Harrison back to return. It'll be Gilkey. Had a good return earlier, and now he's spinning away, and he's going to bring the ball out to the 36-yard line. Gilkey, he's had some good returns here tonight, and now this is good field position, good starting field position for the Indians.
Yeah, Cleveland needed to make something happen there again as this game gets into a little bit dangerous territory for them, just given points have been tough to come by here tonight. Down multiple possessions now at this point, so back well and truly up against the wall as they're going to start this possession and again, try and find a way to secure the football, most importantly. And it looks like we might be going a little bit Wildcat again here as they come out.
So we'll have to see who that is at quarterback. It's going to be...
Trying the counter run there.
So actually, that is number 8, Zach Nixon. We still don't know who number 4 was. We apologize to whoever that is. He's not on our roster. Coaches, please, Cleveland coaches, if you are watching this, please tell us the name of your quarterback, which is, he's number 4. We don't have a number 4 on the roster. It goes number 3, Aspen Williams, and number 5, Christian Harrison. So no number 4, but now it is Zach Nixon in the game, which means I have been calling the quarterback the wrong name all night.
Yeah, and I'm not sure we've seen him in the game yet here this evening until now. I've been looking for number 8.
So now it's going to be a quick throw out of the hands of number 5, Christian Harrison.
Yeah, big hit applied at the end of that one to complete the pass breakup, have a bit of a timeout on the field to address the Cleveland player down on the field currently. Hopefully he's able to shake it off here, walk off under his own power, but get some needed attention first before attempting to do anything like that. Yeah, again, Cleveland trying to go to the air there, throw a slant route underneath, couldn't quite make the connection, but these are the plays they need to try and make now. Again, being down by the 15 points, they've got to try and get in space. They've got a couple of athletes out here that look like they can do something if they get their hands on the football. So right now it's all about just trying to get those guys in space the best they can and just see if they can make a play at this point to try and get them back into this game. did a good job in the first half of keeping Caney Creek just close enough to where, the game was right there, but now it's kind of leaning heavily towards the Panther side of the field. So key moment in the game for Cleveland to keep this one within arm's length before the Panthers apply the submission or attempt to.
As now Nixon, the real Nixon, I should say, is lined up pistol formation.
And we looked everywhere to try and find out who number 4 is, and unsuccessful.
3rd down and 12. 2 receivers to Nixon's right, 1 to the top of your screen on his left. Caney Creek showing a blitz. But is going to look to throw downfield, and an amazing catch. No! Ball pops out, in and out of the hands of Dominique Gilkey, the dangerous return man. Look there on the deep ball. It looks like he had it, but it looks like either the ground knocked it out or it was a really good play there by the defender.
Yeah, fading away as he was diving backwards to try and come up with that catch and high point the football. He did everything that you're coached to do as a receiver when the ball is up, which is to go up and get it at the high point and not wait for it to come down, because when you wait for it, the defensive back makes a play on it and gets the pass breakup. So he did everything there but come down with the catch. It was a well-thrown football. They had what they wanted in terms of the coverage, but just couldn't connect.
Low snap again. Hernandez able to get it off. It's going to bounce and be touched at the Panther 44-yard line, which is where they will start this drive. One of the few times that they've actually started in their own territory.
Yes, we've been talking about here tonight, not on the minus side of the 50 much at all here tonight. I think this is maybe the 2nd or 3rd possession out of, I don't know how many now tonight, close to, maybe 8 or so total, where they've not been in the Cleveland half of the field to start the drive. Looks like we have Marshall back in the game at quarterback on this series.
It will be Marshall with Thompson in as the running back. 3 receivers to Marshall's left, 1 to his right. Regular shotgun formation. He's going to look to throw a quick throw, a good catch, but a loss of yards there on the play by Amarian Hughes. And that will be a net gain of -5 on the play to bring up 2nd down and 15 on what looks like was going to be another quick screen play.
Yep, trying to get on the edge in the hands of one of their better playmakers there in Hughes, and just couldn't quite break that one loose with the knee going down.
It's now Marshall back in the pistol formation. He's going to hand it off to Thompson, who's going to get to, looks like they're going to give him a yard beyond the original line of scrimmage. And one thing that Caney Creek has been doing a lot this season, and it looks like they're doing it now, is they have their defensive lineman number 99, Owen Manchek, lined up as a fullback. It's not something that we haven't seen them do before. It's something that they like to do often, actually, in these offensive formations, especially whenever they run out of the pistol.
Yeah, in the running game, it's all about numbers up front and just trying to create those favorable blocking situations for yourself where you can have a numerical advantage. So a player like that enables you to find that somewhere along the defensive front.
Another handoff to Thompson on 3rd down and long. It's going to get 7 yards, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 2, and the offense is going to stay on the field for Caney Creek. Just under 5 minutes left here in this 3rd quarter. Caney Creek leading 15-0 currently.
Yep, going to keep the offense on the field, liking what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball, so they feel like this is a good chance for them to take, again, opportunity to put this game away if they can convert here and finish this drive with points.
Now Kuhn in motion. They're faking, and it's going to be a big carry there for Peyton Pollard. And that's what you were talking about. They sent Kuhn in motion like they've done on the jet sweeps, but this time it was almost a play action where they gave it to the running back.
Yeah, misdirection, which is very effective. It's something I think they should do more of. That play design right there was great based on what they've set up the whole game here tonight with the speed sweeps and also the isolated power runs there. They combined the two to great effect. So just great play design, great execution, and nearly sprung it for a touchdown.
Marshall lined up with a shotgun. Pollard to his left. So it's going to be a free play. Marshall on the quarterback draw will go for 2 yards.
Yep, like you said, probably picking up 5 here, pending our call.
His motion to be on the defense.
Offsides. Number 88 of defense. 5-yard penalty. We play first down.
Yep, 5 free yards there for the Panthers. They will gladly take it.
Let's bring up first down and 5. We haven't seen very much trickery from the Panthers yet during this game, which is something they usually like to go with some of the tricky motions or even some trick plays, double passes, as now it'll be a handoff to Pollard. And Pollard is going to get into open space. He's at the 10, runs over a man to get first down and goal. Flag down at about the 35-yard line, however, and it looks like this might be coming back.
Yeah, in the area of a hold out there on the edge to enable the runner to get through that hole potentially, but we'll await the official word, but that's what it looks like.
The offense is
holding. Offense number 60. Sets a spot foul, 10-yard penalty. We play first down.
Trenton Sharping, the sophomore offensive lineman, getting called there on the hold.
Yep, bit unfortunate there. They had what they wanted, of course, and did a pretty good job executing and getting the running back loose there overall, as you were excellently called there. It was going to be a play inside the 10-yard line, and now they're backed up almost to midfield, so a big result after that penalty in the negative direction, unfortunately.
First and 15 now. As Marshall take the snap, it'll be a handoff to Williams, who will be met for a loss of 2 yards there. Number 88 leading the way, who number 88 isn't on our roster either. But it would also look like number 71, Julian Barcenas, was on the tackle there. Let's bring up second down and 17. Their own 46-yard line for the Panthers.
Yep, showing power run here. Gonna go with the jet sweep.
Jet sweep to Kuhn, and Kuhn's trying to get to the outside towards the sidelines, and he's going to get a good chunk of yardage there, and it's going to bring up third down and medium, which is very much manageable for this Caney Creek offense.
Yeah, it's a great run by Kuhn, because initially when he got the handoff, Cleveland had a couple of guys there in the backfield that had a shot at him, and he just wriggled right in between both of them and then picked up the edge there on the perimeter and made a great play. It was really an excellent run by Kuhn, because it looked like Cleveland had a chance to blow that one up there initially. It didn't seem like they had quite what they wanted on there from the Caney Creek perspective, but they make the play regardless and get into a third and manageable now after we resume action here in a moment once we tend to the injury on the field. But again, Caney Creek trying to do a good job tonight of mixing up when they attack the perimeter, when they go back inside, and on this third and short that's going to come up here in a minute, they can hit it up inside and elect to do that and maybe add in that motion that we saw a moment ago where they had the jet sweep action coming across and faked it and then handed it off on the power. They may try and do something like that again. I feel like that would be an effective play to run coming out of this timeout. Or they could just do kind of more of a standard power play. Also, you can do a little bit short passing wise as well. I feel like they're going to keep it on the ground, but we'll see what they elect to do for their call here in a moment once we resume action, which looks like it's going to happen here in a few seconds. At the player being helped off the field.
Third down and 4. These are kind of like those downs where anything can happen. Realistically, you could pass, you could run. What would you do? What do you expect from this Caney Creek offense so far?
I expect them to hit something up inside in the power ground game. That's where I think they'll go with it. They're going to have Mr. 99 there, our guy, Owen Manshak, try and lead something through, I feel like, power style here in between the tackles.
Running back is Thompson. And you called it right there as Thompson gets the first down on a power, or very close to the first down. We'll have to see. No signal yet.
Just shy.
Just shy, less than a yard. 4th down in inches now, and obviously offense now going to stay on the field. Now for 4th down in inches, we'll have to see. Probably you would probably have to guess just a simple run up the middle, would you not?
Yeah, I would think this is, I would say tush push, but because they're in the pistol/shotgun here for most of this game, can't quite do it out of that formation.
Now a low snap, and Thompson is going to get the first down, and he's going to get more into at the 20-yard line.
Yep, running the sweep there around the left-hand side and get the edge that they wanted to move the chains easily there for a first down, and most importantly, got everything working in their favor right now. The clock's running, they're moving the ball deeper into Cleveland territory, and they can punch it in here. Really just put them in a great position going into the final quarter here this evening.
A little less than a minute and 30 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. The Panthers exactly in the red zone at the 20-yard line. A little bit of a low snap, able to be corralled and handed off to Thompson for a gain of a yard is what they'll call it.
Yep, gain of a yard, just kind of inching forward on that one. Not a whole lot of room to work with as we run under a minute remaining in the 3rd quarter. Pretty snappy game in terms of how quickly it's moving here tonight, with both teams keeping the ball on the ground for the most part. Points a little bit hard to come by.
It's now 2nd down and 9 for the Panthers. Still getting the call from the sideline. 10 seconds left on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry up here, or they're going to have to burn one of their timeouts. And it looks like they will do just that. Taking a timeout with 29 seconds left. Caney Creek, your score here at Moorhead Stadium with a little less than 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Caney Creek Panthers leading the Cleveland Indians 15-0.
Yep, Caney Creek doing a great job trying to earn their first win of the season here. They'd go to 1-4 if they can hold on here as we head into the 4th quarter here in a few seconds. And just both teams have really battled here tonight overall, I would say, on both sides. Seen a lot of great effort from players on both sides of the field, just working really hard, trying to make something positive happen this season. When you're having seasons like these two programs are so far this year, not having won a game and have been on the wrong end of a lot of big scores so far on both sides of the field, it's hard to keep showing up every day and put in the work that these guys have to do, coaches and players. So they really deserve a lot of credit for the heart that they've shown in a game like tonight, really like they show every game. Not easy to keep showing up when the results go as negative as they have for both of these teams so far. So you like to see them with a chance to do something positive here tonight and get something that they'll remember for the season and for the rest of their lives, really.
It's down the pistol formation. Marshall's going to roll out. Now he's going to look to run. He's going to get close to the first down marker. There looks like they'll probably give it to him from the spot.
Yep, he's got it. It was a nice run there. Tucked inside just enough to get over that line to gain for the first down, so the chain should drop here.
Did see a flag down close to the line of scrimmage.
Nope.
Possibly offsides. So not.
Looks like it's going to go on the defense.
Offside.
Yeah.
Defense number 88. And penalties decline. So it plays the first down.
Yep, and the chain will drop, so we're going to have 1st and goal.
1st and goal from the 10 as Marshall is lined up in the pistol. Take the snap. It'll be a handoff to Pollard, and Pollard trying to find some space. Not going to get very much of it, but still he's going to get a couple of yards there. It looks like they're going to mark him down at the 7-yard line.
Yep, ran that sweep and tried to hit it up inside to give himself a chance to stay in bounds and score a touchdown. It's like going to have a hole to go against the offense there, look like.
It's going to be on the fullback, Andrew Hammond. It's now, that's big now. As now it's going to be first and goal from the 20-yard line.
Yep.
First and goal from the 20. 4 seconds left here in the third quarter. Clock is stopped. So now in comes Baselli for Hammond. And that'll take us down to the fourth quarter.
Yep, flip ends of the field here as Caney Creek takes a 15-0 lead here into the fourth quarter tonight. And I don't think they need to do anything crazy here on this next play call, with it being first and goal to go from the 20-yard line when we reset here in a second. So I need to try and get as much of that penalty yardage back on this next play call as they can. I think is a good goal to have.
After they flip fields, it will be first down and 20, which, not first down and 20, but first down and goal from the 20. So a long first down and goal, you got to get into the end zone if you want to. You got to get into the end zone. No place for you to get a fresh set of downs here. They're definitely in Massey's field goal range. So even if they're not able to get it or get into the end zone on these first 3 tries, all hope is not lost whenever it comes to scoring points and taking advantage of that field position that they started this drive out with.
Yeah, and I was just checking in on the score up the road from us on I-45. We have a barn burner going on in Willis right now in the third quarter that just began. It's Willis 24, College Park 21. So excellent game taking place up the road from us there, and just a huge 13-6A encounter at the top of the standings.
Marshall's going to look to throw. Screen pass to Kuhn. Kuhn's going to try to get shifty with it. He's at the 5.
Wow.
Touchdown.
What a run.
Jamonte Kuhn in on the screen.
That kid showing more moves than a bowl of jello on that one, man. He was just moving and shaking, getting up the sideline there and getting it across the goal line for that touchdown. Just excellent effort on that run.
He was shaking and baking there, and he's making sure that everyone knows if you're not first, you're last.
Absolutely. He was just dropping the moves left and right going in there. That was impressive.
As now we're going to get an encroachment on the defense, pushing back one of the linemen there all the way back, about a yard or two back actually. We'll have to see if this changes how Caney Creek wants to do this, as last time something like this happened, they did send out their offense to go for 2. But now, I guess they're trying to see if he was drawn offsides or if he went on his own.
Offsides, number 40. Up to the goal. Replay the try.
He's going to keep the field goal unit out there. Going to move it up by 1.5 yards. Perez on to kick. Back at the holder. So he's lining it up. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good, which brings our score with 10 seconds down in the fourth quarter. Caney Creek 22, Cleveland nothing. What do you think Cleveland has to do, Jeremy, to get back into this ball game and make it a little bit more competitive?
Yeah, the clock firmly working against Cleveland now, so it's like big plays are what is needed in short, and there's no two ways about it now. With the clock really working against them, they've got to find a way to make a big play, both in special teams and when they get the ball on offense. It's that time for Cleveland. They've got to find a way to get explosive here and get down the field, something they've struggled with all night here against the Caney Creek defense that really dialed in pretty quickly here tonight after Cleveland showed a couple of flashes kind of earlier on in the game, going down the field, making some big plays on a couple of first downs. But since then, Caney Creek's defense, the Panthers on that side, have really had it all on lockdown and just not letting the Indians find any joy whatsoever on the field here tonight in terms of either big plays or field position. I just received another update from up the road here. College Park has scored again, so the score now is 28 College Park, 24 Willis up there in the third quarter. Phenomenal game taking shape up the road.
It's a game that could very much determine who wins the district. College Park undefeated overall, with Willis being, I believe, 4-1, undefeated in district. As Massey's kick is away, and it will touch the return man, who's going to try to return it. It's going to be met. A big hit there by James Baselli, but it looks like we're going to have a flag down. We'll have to see what that's about.
Yep, not quite sure what for, but we'll find out here in a second.
We will.
Not sure if they're calling leading with the head potentially on this. Unless it's a blocking infraction, which I didn't see a block.
They're not moving the ball just yet. So we await the call from the official.
Holding. Receiving team number 22. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So 10 yards from the spot, which will put the Indians at their own 9-yard line. Nixon in at quarterback, empty backfield, pistol formation. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends to his right, and a receiver at the bottom of your screen to his left. First down and 10. It'll be a design quarterback run, and Nixon's going to get 5 yards on the carry. Bring up second down and 5.
Yep, 5 yards around the edge there. Again, just trying to establish some kind of rhythm, pick up first downs if they can't hit a big play, and keep the chains moving, avoid handing the ball right back to Caney Creek if they can. Positive gain on first down there to stay ahead of the chains here initially.
Now, same formation for Nixon. Caney Creek showing a blitz. Nixon will send his man in motion. He'll still hand it off.
Yeah, great defense by Xavier Martinez, a guy whose name we've only called about 20 times here tonight, making plays on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, he was waiting for that play. He was literally there in the backfield, Wesley, just waiting on the running back on that one. Got back there, broke down, and he's like, okay.
Running back on the play, James Cook, and it brings up third down and 7 here for this Indian offense. Now once again going with that same empty backfield formation. Caney Creek once again going to send a blitz. Pass will be complete, but with forward progress it'll bring up 4th down and 4.
Yep, got to go for it, of course, with the score being what it is.
Looks like they will do that as we are just about to hit 10 minutes left in the ball game.
Gonna run the punt team out after all.
They will run out the punt team. Once again on to punt, Guillermo Hernandez.
Yeah, which you can understand also, trying to avoid a total avalanche if they can. Punt the ball away and try and play some defense. Oh, snap to the up back, fake.
A fake, but there's a whistle.
Yep. Did they start too soon?
Looks like either that or I don't believe the
was not ready.
officials weren't ready, which that blows that out of the water.
Yeah, now the secret, the cat's out of the bag now.
Is now Hernandez on the kick. Low snap, bounces right to him. A good punt. Hughes will return it. Hughes is at the 35, the 30. He's got some room at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Amarian Hughes on the kickoff, or the punt return, I should say. A good punt return there by Hughes.
Yeah, absolutely. Caught that and just had a great lane to get loose on that one. Hit the edge, and you can see the talent he has when he gets into the open field with the ball in his hands. Great athlete, one of the better athletes on this team. had a catch earlier tonight. Overall, been pretty quiet with his involvement in the offense tonight, but gets loose there in special teams and really delivers the hammer blow there for Caney Creek in this football game with the advantage they've enjoyed on the defensive side of the ball. Got to be feeling very secure now with this 28-0 lead on the board. 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in our game tonight. It's a hammer, meat, nail moment in the game with that return. Sideline all kinds of fired up when he was running off the field there, which Panthers have every right to be, as we were talking about a couple of moments ago with how tough sledding it's been this season so far.
Perez on to kick the extra point. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. So bring our lead to 29-0 for the Panthers here, which, as you were talking about, yeah, they've had some tough sledding. They've had a lot of blowout losses. So this has got to feel good. This has got to be a nice morale booster for this Caney Creek team overall.
It is. Again, you're showing up day after day, just working hard, trying to make something good happen on the field. And they come out here tonight, put together a really nice performance on their homecoming night here in front of a nice home crowd here under the lights at Moorhead. And like to see hard work pay off for the kids when they get in a game like this. It's a little bit more evenly matched than some of the games they've had so far to date, where they have that opportunity, if they play well, to come out and get that first W in the column of the season, and they're doing just that here tonight, taking advantage of the opportunities they've been given on the field this evening. And it feels absolutely great to everyone down there on that Caney Creek sideline.
And after this week, it'll be Caney Creek taking a trip to Wood Forest Bank Stadium, which is also our sister channel, Conroe ISD Athletics Wood Forest Bank Stadium. If you ever want to catch any of the games from any of the teams that call that their home field, which are, I believe, Grand Oaks, Oak Ridge, the Woodlands, and College Park, you can catch that on Conroe ISD Athletics or Wood Forest Bank Stadium, that YouTube page, which we love all of our YouTube channels. We are great with them. We thank Conroe ISD for even giving us the opportunity to stream these games, and all of our sponsors, Sam Houston State, Lone Star College, Chevrolet, all of them. We love them very much. I love them very much because they are giving us this wonderful opportunity to broadcast these games. As Massey's kick is away, it'll be returned by Harrison, who's going to get some blockers, and he's going to break some ankles, and he's going to be tackled out of bounds. And we'll have to see where they mark him out at, but it's going to be great starting field position for this Indian offense. Has some extracurricular going on the sideline.
Yep, players getting tied up down there on the Caney Creek sideline. Cooler heads seem to have prevailed here. But a big return there for Harrison. Again, some good footwork and speed shown to get loose there, something which Cleveland has not had much luck with at all here this evening outside of that play, and have some of their best starting field position here of the evening at midfield, exactly with the nose of the ball right on the 50-yard line as they come back out onto the field with the Indian offense with 9 minutes 22 seconds remaining in the game tonight.
Nixon lined up a shotgun, 2 receivers, 2 tight ends to his left, 1 to his right in the pistol formation. That's now, we're going to have a timeout from Caney Creek, their first charge timeout of the half, 2 remaining in the half, and 9 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the game. So Caney Creek has the lead here, 29-0. So this is going to be a good win for Caney Creek. How would you bring this momentum from this game going into the game against College Park, who's really become one of the juggernauts this year for the district?
Yeah, College Park playing extremely well, as they're showing again here tonight on the road at Willis. Just went up 35-24 in that game, actually. So College Park has put a few quick scores on the board up the road there, so doing an impressive job themselves. But yeah, for Caney Creek, Yeah, take some time to enjoy this win, most importantly, after tonight. Enjoy this weekend and show back up on Monday ready to keep working as you have been. But, yeah, take some time to enjoy this for sure over the next couple of days before it's time to get back to work.
A deep shot for Nixon
Picked off.
is going to be intercepted. Number 13 on the interception, Chris Gordillo, playing center field right there for that lob ball that he was able to just get under and pick off.
Yeah, nice play by Gordillo there, the junior, making that play, just camped out underneath it like a center fielder. Saw that ball just dropping right down into his lap, and no better opportunity for an interception than that, where you have a nice kind of floating pass that's coming just right down into the breadbasket, and made no mistake securing that to turn the football back over to this Panther offense, as they've got a chance now to, again, just kind of lean on the opponent here, apply that slow submission, hold through the end of the football game here. Expect them to still be having fun, of course, with this lead that they've got, but keep the ball on the ground, most likely continuing their success with the power running that we've seen a lot of tonight.
Beckett in the pistol will be a handoff to Javier. He'll get about 2, 3, maybe 4 yards.
4-yard
carry.
gain there.
4-yard gain to bring up 2nd down and 6. As they are looking like they're going to keep it on the ground, like you said, just trying to run the clock out here.
Yep, no rush to get the play in here. Going to use their play clock. Just lean on this thing here now. Got the advantage they need on the scoreboard.
2nd down and 6. Beckett will take the snap. Another handoff to Javier. He's going to run up the middle for a gain of a yard before he is met by a whole host of Indians. A great play there by the defense. So now we see number 99, Owen Manchek, coming in to the formation. As we mentioned earlier, they love to use him as a fullback in their pistol formations. The clock has now run under 8 minutes. There is lined up as a fullback. It's going to be a handoff.
Yep, nice seam up the middle there. 1st down yardage easily, no flags down, so chains are going to move here. Just a really nice big hole they opened on the inside there, so good job by the Panther offensive lineman. Got to call out the big guys whenever I get a chance when they're doing a good job, as these guys have done here tonight, opening up a lot of holes for their playmakers to get through.
They have actually been doing a really good job tonight. Not only that, but giving both of their quarterbacks time to throw the ball. As now 1st down and 10 from the Cleveland 41-yard line. The ball is going to roll past Beckett, and Beckett's just going to sit on it. That's going to be a huge loss, as the ball will now be at the Panther 43-yard line.
Yeah, that ball just shot out from under center like it was coated in WD-40 there. I mean, that thing was just squirting back on the turf there. Yeah, tough one to handle, but they get on top of it. But unfortunately, now it's 2nd down and a long way. Going to need a graphing calculator for this. 26 yards to go.
The 1st down markers looking like they're already backed up in I-45 traffic, as now it's going to be a jet sweep to Williams. Yep, Williams, who has been lined up as a receiver for most of this game, also seeing reps at running back. He is listed on the rosters as a running back. The sophomore getting the carry, getting some of that penalty yardage back, or not penalty yardage, some of that lost yardage on the mishandled snap to bring up 3rd down and 15.
Yep, picked up 11 of the yards back, but still a long way to go here on 3rd down to pick up the line to gain.
So now on 3rd and 15, just under 6 minutes now. Pistol formation. Marshall will send his man in motion. Another jet sweep to Williams, who's going to try to find some open field, and he's going to get tackled at about the Cleveland 36-yard line, so we'll have to see what they do here if they keep the offense out on the field.
Absolutely, yeah. 4th and about 4 yards to go based on the down markers. The offense going nowhere here. So our clock is nearing the 5-minute mark remaining in our game here this evening.
Cleveland still has 3 timeouts. Caney Creek has 1. And with this score, actually, Caney Creek has scored 4 more points than both of these teams coming to this game has scored all season on offense, as now it's going to be a handout to Javier, who will get the first down.
Yeah, nice job following his blocks. Again, they've done a great job of this for basically all game tonight, just getting behind their blocks and doing a good job of finishing their runs, being tough at the end of the runs, which is a characteristic I always love to see from running backs. It's like I like seeing guys that'll finish their runs, and I know their blockers appreciate that too. They don't want a guy that's just going to go down on light contact. They want a guy that's going to put his head down and finish the runs when they make the effort to block for him, as they do.
You can see Caney Creek subbing in some new faces, trying to get them some valuable reps on varsity, some of their younger sophomore players. So now it'll be a handout to Javier. He's going to try to find some room, and he's going to get a good chunk of yardage there. There's now a flag thrown at the backside of the play. We'll have to see what happened.
Yep, little extra effort going on, I think, well away from the play. On the very perimeter of the action there. There's another nice run there. Good effort, good patience by the runner again.
There has been a lot of good runs by this myriad of running backs that they have been putting in the game, and it's also been a really good job by the offensive line, because you got to think, with no offensive line, there is no offense, because the offensive line, they've been able to create those holes for the running backs to power through.
Yep, the offensive line has a bad day. Everybody has a bad day on offense, as we used to say back in the day. Yeah, and the running backs have really been relying on them tonight. I love how they're, like, whenever they're running through the hole, it's like they're putting a hand on their blocker as they run through there, and they're staying patient too behind the block. They're not just trying to fly out and get on the edge. It's like they're staying behind their blocks and hitting up inside, which is what you want to do as a runner, because that's a more direct path to the end zone, and they've just done a great job of being patient and using their blocks.
So now Marshall will send Williams in motion, and he'll hand it off to Javier, who will get tackled for a gain of 2 yards. So bring up 2nd down and 8 with a little under 3 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the game in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, this drive has taken over 6 minutes off the clock here since Caney Creek took over possession around the 50-yard line. So really milking the clock here with the first downs that they've managed to generate here. So we're about to go under 3 minutes in our game tonight. Caney Creek on the doorstep of adding yet another score to their total, perhaps.
And from our vantage point, we can see the band and the drill team warming up, which, once again, we will be showing their show that would usually be performed at halftime after the game, because it is Caney Creek's homecoming. And it's looking like so far, with 2 minutes, with a little under 3 minutes left, in the game, they're going to be able to walk away from homecoming with a win.
Yes, they are doing a great job just gaining that advantage from the 2nd quarter on, after a tight 1st quarter when it was 0-0. Got the score they needed in the 2nd quarter and converted the 2-pointer to make it 8-0 at halftime, and then came out here in the 2nd half and just stayed in firm control of the football game, adding a few more scores on the board and maybe another one yet still to go.
It'll be a handoff to Thompson, who goes into the end zone for the 3rd touchdown of the game for the freshman running back. Derek Thompson scoring a hat trick of touchdowns to give Caney Creek the lead, 35-0 here. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, he's really made an impression on me here tonight, Derek Thompson. I mean, he really put this offense on his back. He was given a huge workload here tonight and has more than delivered on that with the hat trick of touchdowns that you just mentioned there that he scored tonight. So just excellent performance by Mr. Thompson in this ground game overall here this evening is Caney Creek. Looks like we'll have to pause for a second on the PAT. Can't update the score just yet. 35-0 to Caney Creek as it stands, pending our PAT.
Just now saying another man in.
Yep, everybody's got to do their math now. Make sure we only got 11.
Now the snap is good, holds good, kick is up, and it is good. But we will have an offsides penalty on the defense, it would seem. But due to the kick being good, it's most likely going to be declined.
Yep, kick's going to be good. Move the score to 36-0 for Caney Creek with 2:13 to go on the clock. And as Wesley mentioned a moment ago, we've got band for Caney Creek and drill team warming up in the end zone. Please stick around after we run the clock out here in the football game and enjoy that performance. We'll turn the field mic up for you while we step away so you can enjoy that action here after the proceedings tonight. Enjoy the hard work that Caney Creek band and drill team have put in all year, of course, with halftime having been homecoming for Caney Creek. They didn't have a chance to perform at the usual time, so again, please stick around for that and enjoy the great talent on display.
I mentioned earlier, next week Caney Creek will go face the Woodlands they will go face the Woodlands College Park at Wood Forest Bank Stadium, but Cleveland will host the Woodlands at home next week on a rare Saturday game. Or no, correction, I thought it was the second for some reason. I'm tired, guys. I'm sorry. So, we've had a lot of tests this week. So, Massey now on to kick for the Panthers. It's going to be a pooch kick. It's going to bounce into the hands of a Cleveland returner. And now he's going to try to find some room, but he will be tackled. We'll have to see where they mark him. They're going to mark him at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, good effort there. That was Mr. Dontrell Punch who picked that one up as the up back and tried to get around the outside on that one. Nearly had the corner turned and was up the sideline there. Caney Creek did a good job of recovering on that to not give up the point there, or not give up the big return, because you know they want to finish this game with the shutout. That would just be the cherry on top of what's been a very good night here tonight if you're a Caney Creek Panther. 2:05 left in the game, and Cleveland will be able to run one play, and then we'll have another timeout after that for the 2-minute warning, of course, that we're doing this season now at the high school level. So just like the pros, we'll run a play, and then we'll have an official timeout after we address the injured Indian on the field currently on the far sideline over there. We'll take a moment to allow that player to receive the attention he needs before we resume action. So I could take a moment to thank you all that have joined us here on this YouTube live stream tonight. Wesley and I on the call tonight, and hope you've enjoyed following along with us here in this action from Moorhead under the Friday night lights. And as Wesley mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, follow the channels for both Moorhead Stadium and Wood Forest Bank. We've got two different channels for Conroe ISD Athletics on YouTube. Follow them both so you can keep up with the action here in Conroe ISD throughout the rest of this regular season. And of course, we'll have playoff coverage as well where we can once that season arrives for us here in about a month's time, which is hard to believe that we'll have playoff brackets in our hands in a little over a month. And wild to think about. We just started and it's already October and got pumpkin spice on menus now. It's like, doesn't feel like fall, of course, by any means, but I'm told that's what season it is now that we are into October.
Yeah, I've seen some outrageous random things to have pumpkin spice on them now. I can't remember exactly what, but I know, like, there's been some things you just go into the store and, like, how do you put pumpkin spice on that?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it in hand soap, for crying out loud. I mean, it
does smell good, so I'll give them that. I'll give them that.
I mean, it's everything. You got pie, coffee, hand soap.
I mean, pumpkin spice gum. Pumpkins.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I can't go there. I can't do it.
Would you eat pumpkin spice spam?
Spam?
Pumpkin spice spam.
Wow. Yeah, that blows my mind. Like, I don't even know what to do with that.
Pumpkin spice cat litter? Anyone?
I'm not touching that one. No. It's like I have a cat at home, and no, there's no way.
I hope this is fake, but pumpkin spice salmon.
Yeah, that.
There are some things that you should never put pumpkin spice on, and meat of any kind is one of them.
Yeah, it reminds me of the quote from Jurassic Park. It's like they never stopped to think if they should. They only thought about if they could, and they didn't stop to think about whether or not they should. The famous quote from Ian Malcolm.
Yeah, there's a Forbes article that I'm currently on that is the weirdest pumpkin spice foods in history. Pumpkin spice mac and cheese, only in Canada. So if you're taking a trip north of the border anytime soon, maybe you want to check some of that out.
I'm going to stick with maple syrup if I'm going north of the border. I'm not going to touch that one either.
Also got pumpkin spice cup of noodles. Pumpkin spice ramen for any of our ramen fans. This is a list. Pumpkin spice pumpkin pie dessert hummus from Boar's Head.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not doing that one either.
That is
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to put a stop to this. We need a better version of pumpkin spice.
I mean, credit to whoever started that whole marketing blitz on pumpkin spice. I don't know who was the first of the party on that one. That when October hits, you've just got to do it.
But they must be very rich.
Yeah, they must be. And, of course, as those of you following along with us on the broadcast now, you can tell we're on a little bit of an extended delay. We actually have a stretcher out on the far side of the field, so getting some extended attention with the injury on the field and hoping there's a positive resolution to this when all is said and done. But, of course, in cases where it could be more serious, everybody's just taking their time. No panicking. Don't like to see anything like this, of course.
And unfortunately, injuries are the most unfortunate part of the game of football. Especially with ones like these.
Yeah, players on both sides displaying class, taking a knee. While the player receives his attention. Medical staff on hand here at Moorhead tonight. Take a brief pause here while we finish getting the player onto the stretcher here and into an awaiting ambulance. The Cleveland player now being escorted off the field on the stretcher towards an ambulance awaiting beyond the end zone.
Yeah, once again, you hate to see stuff like that, and unfortunately, injuries are just a part of the game of football.
Yeah, I wish that young man the very best there with whatever he is dealing with injury-wise. Get him taken care of as soon as possible, hopefully there, and healed up.
But now, as we get back to the game, it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Indians on their own 37-yard line. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. As you mentioned before, we'll have one play and then our 2-minute timeout, which is a new rule implemented in the high school ranks. It's already known as a 2-minute warning for the NFL and the NCAA.
Yep, 2:05 left in the game.
It's going to be a designed quarterback run, and he's going to have some running room, and he's going to be at the 40, the 35, the 30, the 20. He is gone. Touchdown, Indians.
No
There
flags
on
on the
run.
field.
Jack Nixon on the huge run there, about a 63-yard quarterback keeper on the designed run.
Yeah, showing some athletic ability and speed there right out of the extended injury timeout there. Busts a big play right up the middle of the field, just right up the hash mark basically is where he took that run, and gets Cleveland on the board. 6 points here pending this two-pointer that they're going to go for. 1:51 on the clock.
They're going to go for 2. Nixon in the backfield. It's going to be a low snap. He's going to be able to corral it and go into the end zone. Our score now, Caney Creek 36, Cleveland 8.
Yep, 8 for Cleveland, and get the points on the board. They've been looking for that kind of play all night. Finally get one to break for them on the explosive play. Just great speed shown by the Indian player on that one to take that one for a house call.
Running there almost like a little Willie. Yeah, it was running really fast there. It was a really good designed quarterback run, actually.
Yeah, it was an old kind of Tim Tebow style play back in the days when he was playing for the Florida Gators, just kind of a QB power style run there between the tackles that they broke loose for a big gainer.
Running like Willie Mays Hayes out there, you could say.
Yep. Yeah, and plays like that allow you to see defensively just kind of that you've done a good job for the most part, because the other team does have guys that can make plays. So the Panthers have been, for the most part tonight, just really lights out on that side of the ball. It's like, they would have wanted to finish tonight with the shutout, but they're going to take a big win regardless. As the return team comes back out onto the field here for Caney Creek. Going to have some yardage to work with because it looks like a penalty was marked off against Cleveland here, so they're just playing onside. Yeah, never mind.
Thompson and Hughes will be back deep to return. And as you mentioned, probably going to be an onside kick here.
Yep, Mr. Hernandez is going to put his best spike on this ball, get it into the turf, and see if he can bounce one.
Ball has to cross to the 50-yard line before any Cleveland player can touch it. It's going to be a pooch kick there.
Yep, live ball, got to field it.
It's going to bounce.
Yep, tricky one when it hits the turf like that. It's a
Fielded.
live football, so you better get on it.
Fielded by Hammond at the 30-yard line. Bring up 1st down and 10 with 1 minute and 51 seconds left. And they're just probably going to try to get a 1st down and kneel this game out.
Yep, get a 1st down, and that should be all that we've got football-wise tonight once that happens. Once again, for any who might have missed it a moment ago, stick around after the game for the Caney Creek Band and Drill Team cheerleader performance.
Handoff up the middle. Goes for 5 yards is where they're going to mark him.
Yep, 5-yard gain. Bring up 2nd and 5 as the clock continues to run out here on our football game this evening. Another, looks like cramp going on down on the field, so have a brief break in the action to address that. Again, we mentioned earlier on how Cleveland's had a lot of guys playing Ironman ball out here tonight, going both ways, and the fatigue was likely to pop up in the second half, and that's what we've seen, I think, in large measure here.
And with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter of that game, just up I-45, College Park is leading Willis 48-30, which it's looking like that perfect record will stay that way, with College Park hoping now to move to 6-0 and sitting comfortably atop the district standings.
Yeah, really impressive season by the Cavaliers so far. They've just been outstanding, and performance-wise, one of the best teams in the entire state of Texas, actually, when you look at the underlying metrics of just how good they've been so far through the first half of the regular season. And have some more work to do, of course, in 13-6A play, but if they can polish that one off in Willis here this evening, that obviously puts them in just a wonderful pole position in 13-6A atop the district.
It's now in the game clock set, minute and 23 seconds left here in the game. Clock is running. It'll be a handoff to Javier. He will be stopped for little to no gain, and the clock will still run.
Yep, one more snap ought to do it here. Can run the best play in football now if they choose to. Victory formation.
Looks like
they might just stay in the gun.
they're just going to stay in the gun, but they're going to let the clock run. It's what it would appear. That's what they're going to do. It's going to be another simple handoff for a first down, but that won't matter, as that will be the final play of the game, I believe.
Yep, that's going to do it tonight. We're going to run the clock out, line up, and shake hands. So the final score here tonight is going to be Caney Creek 36 and Cleveland 8. First win of the year for your home team, Caney Creek Panthers. Great job by them tonight, getting this win here on homecoming night in front of the home crowd here under the Friday night lights at Moorhead Stadium.
It will be the Panthers' who goes, as now, as you mentioned, they improved to 1-4 on the year, getting the win on their homecoming night. Jeremy, it was an honor to call the game with you, man. It was really fun. I really hope we get to work more games together. It feels like you're the one that I've worked the least amount of games with, but I feel like we do really good together.
Yeah, I think so too. Make a good team, and I'm sure we'll get another one in before this season ends, and I think we're going to get some action into the playoffs here as well in a little bit. That's going to extend that timeline for us a little bit. And again, for all the viewers here on the stream, stick around. We're going to have that performance coming up for you here momentarily as the Caney Creek Band, drill team, and cheerleaders work their way out onto the field to put in that performance that they weren't able to do at halftime because we had homecoming proceedings here this evening. To the Panther faithful, enjoy this win, enjoy it all weekend, and Panther players, I'm sure, will show up on Monday ready to get back to work, but yeah, they deserve to enjoy this one for as long as they can here this weekend and soak it in, getting a big win like this at home. Great stuff by the Panthers, and congratulations to Coach Heineman and his staff for putting one in the winning column here tonight.
Well, this is unfortunately that time of the broadcast where we must bid you adieu. So goodbye, mwah, and good night, bang. Have a good night. Love all you guys.